Jesus. That was you, wasn't it? I didn't even get over to the thing. You've beaten your time. That was 2 seconds. 2 seconds, Kyle. Hey now. So you see above where it says stream chat, there's like a little people icon above that?
I don't see that.
Maybe it's only on Streamlabs. Hold on, let me go to Twitch and look. I'll go to like my Twitch or something. Yeah, no, it's there. See where it says stream chat?
I don't see it.
Okay, above the bits. What do you see? Stream chat, right?
Above the bits, I see Prime notifications, get bits, and my profile picture.
Okay, below that.
Welcome to the chat room.
This is... What are you even on? Hold on a second. Let me like take a screenshot or something. Because you're not seeing something that I'm seeing. That's weird.
Or maybe it's a better Twitch TV setting, but I don't see it.
Because I'm on legit on like Twitch.tv. Like I wasn't even going through Streamlabs. Because I noticed that like it wasn't in the same spot on Streamlabs. They moved it, and it's like, oh, because Twitch moved it, and they want it to look like Twitch. Hold on. Let me go to Discord and I'll send you the screenshot I just sent you. Where's Discord? Here we are. Alright, I'm sending you a screenshot on DM.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Maybe you have it like hidden or something? I don't know how that could be. Because it looks exactly the same in slobs too. Gibbsy Noodle. Hi Gibbsy. Okay. Let me ping the other 2 hosts. Let them know. Oh, I need to be in the right. Oh, Jesse's here. Hey, Jesse.
Hello.
Okay, we just need noun. Let me ping her. I gotta.
Coming through all right.
You really are, yeah. Let me just lower the music slightly. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Let me go over and ping noun. Oh, never mind. There's noun right now. Hey, noun.
And I'll form the head.
Right noun.
Form of list critic. I have to make you slightly louder, but other than that, you sound great.
That's good.
Way better than that last time that we tested it.
Yeah, it totally was not my fault at all that it sounded like crap. I just wanted to say.
Yeah, you only had the microphone covered, right?
Yeah, no, you should 100% believe me. It was not my fault.
Totally not your fault. Whose fault is it? You know what? I'm gonna blame Peyton.
It's the fault of society.
I'm gonna blame... yeah! Society... Wait, I got it. Society and the swans.
Oh.
You know, we live in a society.
We're living in a society here.
We live in a society.
Oh, we got people in chat already. Crowd shifting. List critics. List critics. List critics. Hey, Riddle. Hey, Terry. How's it going? Okay. All right, guys. Give me 1 moment. I'm going to step away. You guys are going to sort of have the run of the place for a few minutes. But Gibbs is going to be in charge, so don't try no shit, okay? And Gibbs is going to be in charge. You're a good boy. And I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna grab myself a water, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna start. So, hey, Chris, I'm down with the OPP. Yeah, you know me. I'll be right back, guys. Gibbs, you're in charge till I get back. All right. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Definitely don't do anything I would do.
Mods are gone. Post lists.
There's a gray area. That's where you operate. Friendly neighborhood.
Hey, do you know what the OPP actually stands for in that song? Am I alone?
Apparently, no.
One? It's other people's property.
Oh.
And not the Ontario Provincial Police. Yeah, so I think the song is all about macking on someone else's honey, as they would say. I think that was like the whitest way I'd ever said anything.
That was amazing.
That's one way to put it. Happy Saturday.
Hello.
Yes, happy Saturday. I'm dying here in sweltering heat.
Yeah, me too. If it weren't for that second AC I had installed today, I'd probably be dead right now.
Jeez.
Second AC?
Yep, there's one in my parents' room and one that covers the whole downstairs.
Speaking of AC, I better go crank mine down a little bit. So I'll be right back.
Mine is blaring literally right beside me, and it's still hot. And yeah, Chris Collette has been creepily following me all day, everywhere, all over Twitch.
Oh, really?
Oh, don't jump on me, dude.
I get that a lot with some other people.
Alright.
An unknown riddle, it is indeed the devil's anus.
Oh, I came in at an awkward time.
Get off me, Gibbs. Hello, hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now. And thank you, T Sparkle, for putting the Discord link in there twice. How's everybody doing?
So nice, you gotta put it in there twice.
Oh my!
It is fucking hot.
It's not hot. It's hat.
It is H-A-T.
It is no H-A-H-T. Hat.
Yes.
No, it's like H-A-T-T.
Hat. It's hat. There's like an accent in there somewhere, like an umlaut or an accent, or is there some sort of squiggle?
Maybe kind of a Boston flair to it.
It's sure hot in here. Is that
You like
right?
apples?
I got a number. How do you like them apples? Well, okay, so we're doing good here. Gibbsy was in charge. Gibbs, were they up to any fuck shit? Was there any fuck shit? Well, he's wagging his tail. I'm gonna take that as a no.
There was so much fuck shit that he enjoyed it.
Oh, really? Did you partake in the fuck shit? Oh,
He actually
dude,
wanted
he
to
came.
watch it.
He came over like, yes, I like to fuck shit, daddy. Oh, it's my Gibbsy noodle. I'm not hearing Kyle. Is Kyle here right now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You're just being quiet.
Yep.
Kyle's like a church mouse.
Yikes.
Excuse me?
I don't like where that's going.
He's a church mouse, just a quiet
Go
little
on.
mouse in church. Just sitting in the back.
Excuse me?
Yeah. that's like your fucking catchphrase. Excuse me.
Oh no.
Oh no. Excuse me, princess.
I watched
Well,
the
apparently
first
I need to turn
episode
you
of The
down.
Legend of Zelda,
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
and wow, is it bad.
It is so bad, but we loved it when we were kids.
And for some
We
reason,
did.
the end credits was the end credits for the Super Mario Bros.
Oh, because the Super Mario show, it was the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and it actually aired every day, like during the week. It was Monday through Friday, but on Friday, they would show The Legend of Zelda. It was part of the same show. So it's like, it was like 4 days a week, it was Mario and Luigi, which was a weird amalgam of animation and live action. And then on Fridays, it was Zelda. But Zelda only lasted like a season.
And yet, you can't watch the show without doing the Mario.
No, you have to do the Mario. Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario.
Geez, did Mario do like a whole box of Marlboros or something?
Well, that's what he sounded like. It was friggin' Lou Albano.
It was.
Like, jeez, Luigi, you gotta clean this place up. Like, he sounded like he was like 60 years old.
All toast is toast toast.
Which is not true. I would hope that they toast bread.
Yes.
All right, guys, are we ready to begin?
I hope so.
Are all
Ever ready?
of our bodies ready?
My body is ready.
My body's been ready.
Jesse, is your body ready?
My Bodie is ready.
Your Bodie is ready. Okay.
Oh my god.
Let's kill the music and welcome to our new co-host, the Noun Beast.
Hi.
Oh, and we're going to switch over to
There's
the
only
logo.
one noun beast.
There is only one noun beast, except
And I am
no
she.
substitutions. So Noun, you are the new person here. You're the new kid on the block, so to speak. Are you familiar with how this works?
I watched a little bit of List Critics.
A little bit goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have like about 20 minutes of experience.
20
So
minutes.
I
I
mean,
should be-
it
I
is what
should-
it is.
Hey, you know, that's more than Jesse had because he was the original co-host, so he had no experience going in.
And here I am, somehow.
Here you are, 10 years later. Yeah, so...
Has it been 10 years? Get out.
No, it's actually been 9 years. We started in late 2010. So...
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, we read lists. Some of them are submitted, some of them are not, and we critique them. And it's like if it's a 10 list, it's 10 is the best, 1 is the worst. If it's 100, it's 100. It's out of however many there were on the list. If they're not numbered and I can't be bothered to count them all, then it's we'll do like a school grade kind of thing.
We'll count from 1 to 5 fuck shits.
No, I mean like he's like A plus to F.
Like a double S tier to F tier.
Oh my god. It's a fighting game tier list.
Yes.
Oh dear lord. By the way, my cat is extremely jealous that I'm paying attention to you and not her.
Well, meow, 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 meow.
Well, what about from Nitro to exclamation mom?
Oh my god. Well, Nitro's obviously top tier. Obviously. Okay, so we're going to start, as we always do, with pleatedjeans.com's Tumblr Gets Deep, or 21 times when Tumblr gets deep, or whatever it's actually
Oh
called.
my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh
Let's get as deep as possible.
my. Balls deep. All right, number 1. Carl Cat says, I feel like Frog and Toad is an untapped gold mine of political memes. I mean, just look at this pic alone, and we have, like, Toad reading a book, and Frog is sitting there with a very thoughtful, like he's got his finger on his mouth, like, It says, when you're reading... Oh, and Left Clausewitz says, when you're reading a post and you don't know which side you're supposed to be taking.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
if it's very ambiguous.
Yeah. Or, well, you don't know, like, which side they're pandering to. Terry, it's funny. Terry says, I thought they didn't allow that stuff on Tumblr anymore. Because balls deep. All right, number 2. Oma Knight says, I'm going to make a new font called Times New Bastard. It's Times New Roman, but every 7th letter is jarringly sans serif. And
Yes.
then Bork Bouquet of 12 says it's Times New Roman. Oh, they actually did that. They wrote that same thing. It's Times New Roman, but every 7th letter is jarringly sans serif, and they did that. Like every 7th letter is some other font that is very jarringly sans serif. And Valrit says, with one line, you activated every bone in my body, and all of them are in attack mode.
Oh,
I agree.
That's just unnecessary.
It is unnecessary.
activated my trap.
Let's face it, everything in this is unnecessary.
Can you really have a trap font?
How would you have?
Apparently.
How would that work? Maybe the T's look like C's. I don't know. All right, number 3.
Comic Sans MS is everybody's trap font.
That's the troll font. That's what you do to you can find the typographer when you post something in Comic Sans, and that's the guy that starts freaking out.
I like Comic Sans.
I don't really. I'm ambiguous.
I don't like you.
I'm ambivalent towards it. All right.
Oh.
Oh, we need to get along here. We're the fucking list critics. All right. 7 Egg
We're already
says.
falling apart.
All right, number 3. 7 Egg says, an old white dude at Taco Bell saw me wearing my Walmart vest and gave me a speech about how I need to quit retail and get a real job so I can one day get a car like that, and pointed at my own damn car.
Whoops.
And then he replies to himself and says, for everyone that asked, I just said you're right, and then got in my car and drove away. Like a fucking boss.
That's great.
Probably literally.
Yeah, literally, right? Wow.
Right?
You need to get a real job. I hate people like that. I really do.
You know what sucks is it's like if everybody got the so-called real job, then like who's gonna like check out your stuff.
And they can't.
Walmart.
Yeah, and you can't even say that the immigrants would do it because the people who say that want to kick them all out.
I know they're all like they're taking all our jobs. And it's like,
They
well,
take your dirt, 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 dirt. Okay, Gibbs. Okay. Right, Gibbs doesn't like that. All right, number 4. Bogleach says, "Oh no, don't eat food. Don't you know it has autism chemtrails in it? Your star sign beams you all the vitamins you need." And then they reply to themselves saying, "I just found out water has a molecule in it. No thanks, pal. You know what else has a molecule? A knife."
Oh, God.
A knife.
Have they heard of the sunshine dye?
Oh my God.
Did you know that guns have molecules in them?
So does. Well, I'm not gonna go there.
So do our brains,
Yeah.
man.
Oh no!
Oh, the
I've
gut.
been drinking that fluoride water.
Get out of my head, Charles. All right. Number 5, Speedo Weedo says, on a list of dumb shit I know, the grass in the original Shrek movie is not grass, it's hair. They used hair textures for the grass because actual grass, for some reason in their computer modeling program, would not behave like grass, so they used hair textures colored green. Elvis Presley was a registered DEA officer who asked Nixon for the title and was awarded it. There's more, but I just want to point out that not only is that true about Elvis asking Richard Nixon to be like an honorary member of the DEA, he showed up to the White House stoned out of his gourd and asked for that.
Would you ask any other way?
I mean, yeah, I guess not. Yeah. So, in Die City says, what else? And then Speedo Weedo continues. The great escape artist Houdini was living in a time period where mysticism, fortune-telling, a Ouija board, seances, and etc. were becoming very commonplace and trendy, and he fucking hated it so much. So much that he would go to seances in disguise and make some bullshit off the wall shit like, my son died last year, can you let me talk to him? And the seance person would be like, this is your son, hello, father. And then he'd rip off his disguise and be like, you fraud, I have no children. He died on Halloween night in Detroit, and as far as I know, every year they hold seances on Halloween trying to get in contact with his spirit. If seances work, I bet his ghost is just pissed off and not responding out of raw spite.
Ha! Got him!
Got him! And there's one more. Foxes can't snarl like dogs and wolves because the muscles in their muzzle don't allow it, so they just drop their jaws and scream.
They do. It's a horrible noise.
That is unnerving to
like
think
that.
about. What does it sound like? Could you make the sound?
No, I'm not going to make that fucking sound.
Is it like...
It's really...
It's like Beavis?
It honestly sounds like a woman.
Bungle.
Sounds like... Well, if somebody would stop imitating Beavis for like 5 seconds.
I can't. It's in my blood.
But it seriously, I've heard it sounds like a woman screaming, and I watched a YouTube video. I can't imitate it because I haven't heard it in a while.
I have to go to YouTube now, and
yeah,
I'm gonna type in Fox. Wait, it's like that song then, screaming. What the fox?
No. What does the fox say?
The fox does not say anything. It screams.
All right. Well, You guys aren't gonna be able to hear it, but on the stream they'll be able to hear. It's like a baby crying. Wow. All right, yeah, I'm done with that. I got 16 seconds into a 39-second video. Beavis is in my blood, ladies. All right. Number 6, Nerdy Girly says, when they were prepping me for surgery, or for the surgery, the nurse put on one of those cloth hats over my head to keep the hair out of my face. She said, here's your party hat. And I was already tripping balls, so I said, yay, party, and wiggled around on the table like a gleeful slug.
Oh my god.
I would probably do the same. By the way, Kyle, could you, I need you louder, if possible.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, because, I
have... Can you make him louder?
I have him maxed out.
Yeah, well, I have a gain knob right in front of me, so if I'm ever quiet, just bug me.
Okay.
Is that better?
It's a little better, yeah. Just project. You're like your theater kid, you know?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been a theater kid.
How did I know you were? Wow. Okay, so let's just move on. Number 7.
Wait, I gotta mention one thing.
Oh no.
Is when I had I was having one of my eye surgeries, and they put that hat thing to keep the hair out of my face because they were going to do stuff on my eyes. And they said, "This is." And I was like, "What are you?" I was already like goofy, so I was like, "What are you doing?" "This is to keep the hair out of your eyes." And I was like, "But you're not doing surgery on my hair." And then I went.
Yeah. Well, I think they're used to people saying weird shit when they're in that fuzzy zone. You know.
It's such a good zone.
Gleeful slug. Now I'm sorry, and I'm sorry now that we all kind of talk at the same time. It becomes like that after a while.
No, I'm really bad at doing that myself. Like I always am like, oh, I'll just be quiet.
Yeah, it's also kind of like my job to keep things moving so that we don't spend too much time on one thing. But I do like the discussion. All right, so number 7, Daxina posts a picture of a badger and a frozen pizza and like some money. Like I just want to give you guys, there's like a frozen pizza from DiGiorno sitting there, and there's like $100 and some odd on it, and the badger has his paw on that, like he's slapping it down, like, here you go, bub.
It's not delivery.
And Sarah Shahil, this asshole says, I'm not sure what kind of luck the $115 frozen pizza badger is supposed to bring, but I'm not taking any chances. I don't get it.
Hey, I don't know. They're not all winners.
Badger.
In everybody's defense, I was distracting people with chat.
Oh, okay. Number 8. So meme whore. Let's just pause a moment to appreciate that somebody.
Appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah, Tumblr decided that their URL was going to be meme whore. They post a tweet from somebody named D at Figgle, says it's kind of fucked up that musicians eat sandwiches by placing them inside trombones and honking them into each other's mouths. And, and Skirt Suit Angel says, this is an example of defamiliarization where something totally normal, conventional, and ordinary, like honk winching, is taken in and described as something that sounds weird and foreign.
What?
Honk winching?
Uh,
I want to hear what that sounds like. Like it should be an album called Jazz Lunch by Zombie Sneak Attack, and all it is just distorted trombone and like food hitting the wall.
I just imagine you already typing it into song titles.
Is AJ listening? Are they like writing this down?
AJ, wait, let me text him.
Food hitting the wall.
Yeah, just Zombie Sneak Attack. Oh shit! I already forgot what I called it. Jazz Lunch, right? Was that what it was?
Yep.
Jazz Lunch, and it's like, and you hear like salad falling down the stairs and shit. Oh, they're writing a review, so they'll be over soon. Yeah. It's like salad falling down the stairs, coleslaw hitting the ceiling, sandwiches flying out of tubas. You know, it really do be
salad slinky.
It really do be like that. And
bratwurst slapping against each other.
Well, that's a different video.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. All right, number 9. Malformality says Wisconsin snowstorm versus flooding in Ireland. And it shows both. Okay, so on the left is like they open their door and the snow is above the door, and all you see is like the imprint of the door. Yeah, it's a wall of snow with the imprint of the door on it. And then the flooding in Ireland thing like literally shows the water being above doorknob level. I don't know how the house isn't flooded. So Phoenix Falls says Ireland isn't fucking around with the sealing capabilities of their doors. That's what I'm talking about. How is that?
That's some seriously packed snow.
You know, I mean, but the water in Ireland, like that's water though. Like the flooding, the flood level is above the doorknob. How is it not rushing? Like that's some good sealing. The molding on the door. They're like, oh, well, oh, I don't know. I became Australian there. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, number 10. Okay, so this starts with a tweet, actually. Harry Tufts here says, fun fact, ever wonder why it's called the Iliad? Because Ilium was another name for Troy, and the ad suffix was used to mean the story of. This means that if you translate the title, the Iliad should actually be called Troy Story.
Iliad. Oh, no.
Oh.
So, Odd Frog says, thanks, I hate it. Side Reel Sam... Side Real Sandman says, "You've got a friend in horse." And Garrett Author says, "You do not have a friend in horse." Holy shit nipples, Batman.
Aww.
The horse. A fake friend.
You've got a friend in me. You know what's crazy is they could make Sex Toy Story and still keep that same song.
The whole soundtrack.
Yeah.
What?
You've got a friend in me.
No, I get it, but I'm whatting anyway.
Oh, I know you get it. Sometimes I over-explain things for the benefit of anyone who may be listening who isn't on our level. All right.
Innocent little people.
Yeah, exactly. The church mice. Okay, so why do so many of these start with tweets? So apparently people on Tumblr are really into sharing tweets and mocking them.
I mean, Twitter, like, there's an entire group of people who are just basically weird Twitter.
Yeah, wow, that's true.
And it's just so fun.
All right, so this starts with Whiskey Crutch sharing a tweet from somebody named Elv or Elvish Presley. Judge, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Me, no. Judge, covers mic. What do I do? And Whiskey Crutch says, power move of the century. Kel CL says, I looked this up because I wanted to know if you could, and you can technically, but then you're instantly guilty of contempt of court and you go directly to jail. And Overjoy says, trial speed run.
Do not pass go.
Do not collect $200.
I mean, that sounds like an easy way to just, like, skip the whole court thing.
Yeah.
You know you're going to lose.
There you go. Okay, so, hey, Barrel, how's it going? any percent trial speed run is what Barrel said. Okay, number 12. Okay, another one sharing another weird tweet. Caucasian Scriptures post this from Adriano. Hey, shout out to everyone who had Pokemon cards where they were younger and didn't have a fucking clue on how to use them. And Caucasian Scripture says, to be honest, I still don't know. And Nocturian says, they were just an art collection for me.
That's real.
That is very real.
Very real.
That is extremely... I have no idea.
Really
And
real.
I could tell you so many things about the Pokemon games, like the video games, and how to play them, and how the battle mechanics work. I have no fucking idea on the cards.
When I used to work retail, and I worked in the men's and boys department, like behind my counter, I was selling, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a hit, and then there were Magic cards. I just wanted to get them for myself just because they were pretty.
Just because they're cool looking, right?
Yeah.
There are.
Like, I heard that in the card game, like, there's less types. Like,
hey, I'd appreciate that.
I mean, I don't even understand how that works, but okay. Number 13, Larvinia here posts a picture of a very long, lanky, skinny cat. And Tepig the Transmed says, long? And Gyungmi Overwatch says, fool, that is the embodiment of death. And Tepig the Transmed says, death incarnate shows itself to be a black cat, ominous and dreadful. Me. Fluffy worm boy, long man Jenkins.
Oh.
I don't get it.
Was saying that if death came to you as a lanky cat, you'd just be like, who's a good kitty?
No, then it'd be easier to transfer over.
Yeah,
I'd
totally.
be welcoming of that. I'd be like, can I pet you? Like, can I?
Yeah, like is that allowed? Yeah. So just talk about the Pokemon card thing. Apparently, Barrel says that they don't have the ice or dragon types in the cards.
Why?
So what type is Kyurem? Because that's literally an ice dragon.
Or what about Regice?
Well, Regice is just an ice type. Yeah, like that's just straight up ice type. Maybe it's a very cold ice type, a water type. Death is long cat, exactly. Number 14, Inia says, okay, so Norway is like such an odd country because, like, listen to this. Norwegians consume 9% of all Pepsi Max products. All Pepsi Max produced. Norwegians eat the second most tacos in the world just after Mexico. Norwegians drink the second most coffee in the world just after the United States. Norwegians read the second most comic books in the world just after Japan. There are only like 5 million people in Norway. And Decepticon Central says, and apparently they are having an amazing time.
Seriously, I'm moving there. Jesus.
They're having a very fast time.
It is fast. Isn't Pepsi Max like double the caffeine or some shit?
No, I think Pepsi Max is like no sugar.
Let me look it up.
And there's no
But
I don't-
seriously, that
I'm-
much coffee?
I'm way out on what. Oh, sorry about that. I'm way out on soft drinks. It's low calorie, sugar free. Huh.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
there's like no aspartame or however the hell you pronounce that.
I think that's right. So according to Barrel, he says Curum is water type
What?
in the trading card. That is insane.
Minds are being blown.
Wow.
Maybe it just makes the card game easier.
It sounds like it would make it harder because you got to
Less
rethink.
types, less you got to think about.
Yeah, but if you know the types from the video game, you got to like rejigger your brain, you know? Okay, so number 15, Lord Zuko says the most relatable thing in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the fact that Miles has been listening to one song on repeat throughout the whole movie. And Sympathetic Deceit Trash says, and he doesn't even know all the lyrics.
Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, that's true. That's kind of silly.
That's pretty legit.
I haven't seen the movie, so I'm just taking their word for it here.
It's
It's good.
I
Do you
heard.
have any idea how many times the boys have watched that movie since they got here?
I'm sure it's on repeat. It's never not on.
Yeah, pretty much. That was for the first month.
Oh God.
That was like all they watched.
But that's how kids are. They just watch the thing that they like over and over and over again.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, and it never gets old. And then you wonder why, like 20 years later, you remember all those weird details that you haven't seen for all that time.
Number 6, Reg BN says, if she's your girl, why is she infiltrating Area 51 with me? And Injuries and Dust says, because our relationship is good like that, because I love her and I don't need her to be by my side every minute, because she's a healthy, well-rounded person, but with her own separate interests that I fully support but don't need to take part in. And Reg BN says, thanks for respecting women, bro.
Boom, you just got
Yeah,
relationship.
there you go. Wait, hold on. Golf clap. It deserves it. Okay. Number 17.
Success.
Yay! We won with that one guy. Okay, so I love this Twitter. I love this Tumblr handle, number 17, Shitty Cryptids. And apparently, this is what they do. They come up with shitty ideas for cryptids. A great white shark, but the size of a cat and with puppy teeth, unable to cause any damage and moves by dragging itself across the ground. Makes for a great pet.
Oh, that'd be creepily adorable.
That would be way better than Gyo.
And then Mini Geist drew it. They drew a picture of it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop that in the Discord so people can see it.
Oh my.
Okay. Oh, that's the wrong channel. Hold on. Do it again.
My.
Oh, effort.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. It's just this cute little shark baby and somebody's petting it. And then
Oh my god.
the Radical A says, OP, change your fucking URL. Because obviously that's not a very shitty cryptid. That's a pretty cute one. It's just
Oh, that is adorable.
Barrel said I guess before he saw it, he said based on the description, it's an oversized snail. All right, number 18, Dare I Say Asexual says, I love little kids with very niche interests. Like for a while, I nannied for a family who had a little girl who loved old black and white movies. She adopted a transatlantic accent, constantly wore a long string of plastic pearls, and would often dramatically drape herself over pieces of furniture when told to do something and just say, I can't do it, babe. I once dropped her stuffed animal and she yelled, there's been a murder. Oh, okay.
I can't tell if that's terrible or great.
Yes. I'm going to go with yes.
Yes.
All right. Number 19, Fandom Life Universe has a Jurassic Park video game where you build your own park, and you think the game is about building the best park with the most amount of dinosaurs, and everything is running well, and it goes from cloning the dinosaur all the way to putting them in the right paddock. Then, when you get finished and the credits roll, the screen goes black and it starts blaring an alarm and all the dinosaurs escape, and now you're playing a first-person point-of-view game, escaping from all the dinosaurs that you helped create, which means the better you were at the first half, the more trouble you're in for the second.
I will respond yes.
Glittery Star Seat said, please, and nobody better have this or I swear says, I didn't know I needed this until right now.
So like from a Roller Coaster Tycoon to Left 4 Dead?
Sounds like it. Okay, can I just point out the last person must have been very frustrated coming up with their Tumblr URL? Because I just want to read it again. Nobody better have this one or I swear. Okay. Targent says, this is number 20. What is it about being on a plane that makes people go buck wild for ginger ale? Literally everyone be ordering it. Frankly, Francia says, ginger ale is supposed to help settle your stomach if you're nauseous, so people get it on planes if they get plane sick. And then transhumanistic Panspermia says, ginger grow in the ground so it keeps you connected to God's earth when you're thousands of feet up in the heathen tube. And then,
Heathen tube.
Heathen tube. And then One Punch Gay says, some of us just like ginger ale, man.
Since 1783, man. That shit is good.
It is good.
When I did drink soda, I did enjoy ginger ale.
I
Wow.
prefer ginger beer, which is not alcoholic.
I've never had that.
It's so good. I love it.
It can be alcoholic if you want it to be.
Well, yeah, you want to mix it with vodka, then you're gonna get a Moscow Mule.
Hell yeah!
Ah, there you go.
Sounds interesting.
Okay, so this is creepy. So, Carebear 0117. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's not. It's URL not. What? URL not L'Oreal bit. This asshole says. Well, they post this comic strip. It shows a dinosaur, like a brachiosaur type of dinosaur, and it sees this swirly vortex above it, and it's like, ooh, and then it pokes its head up through it, and then you see the head and part of the neck coming up, and it's like a worm coming up out of grass, and there's a bird looking at it like, okay. And it says a wormhole. And Carebear 0117 says, this is the greatest.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen on here. I'm not even shitting you.
No, I'm
I love
agreeing
it.
with that.
I love it.
It's pretty.
That's great.
I didn't know I needed this in my life, but apparently I did.
I need you to post that in the Discord.
I will do that immediately. It is posted now. But anyway, that is the last one. Out of 21, we'll let the new person be the first person to rate this. Noun, out of 21, what say you?
So what am I rating? The list overall?
Yeah, your feelings on it. The points are made up and nothing matters. 1 being that's the worst shit you ever heard, and 21 being that was fucking ace.
I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to say it's 15.
15, okay. Kyle.
I was actually thinking 15 myself.
15, Jesse.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. 19.
I'm somewhere in between that. I'm gonna say 17. So yeah, there were some derpy ones, but there were some good boys in there too.
I love the derp. Give me the derp. Derp all over me.
Oh my.
Oh dear.
Rob Schneider, derp da derp da tiddly terp.
Tiddly toe.
Rated PG-13.
Should I? Oh my god. Should I do it?
Do it.
Do the whole
What are we
thing?
doing?
The
Do
Rob
it.
Schneider thing?
Oh god. Nobody's ready for
Just
this.
do it.
I need the text for it. Where is it? I had it up for the last time that I did it. I mean, you made a clip of it now, and so I found it. Okay. Rob Schneider, derp de derp. Derp de derpity derpy derp. Until one day, whoop, the derpa 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 derp. Derp de derp da tiddly dum. From the creators of Der and Tum to Tiddly Tum to Two. Rob Schneider is da derp de derp da tiddly derpa derpa dum. Rated PG-13.
Wow.
That's so good.
That was amazing.
That is every Rob Schneider movie.
It really is too. Okay, it's like also every movie trailer for a comedy.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't.
Until one day.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to have Rob Schneider in it. It could be David Spade. Rob Schneider is now a carrot, rated PG-13. Rob Schneider is Kenny, rated PG-13. Okay, so we're gonna move on to 15. They keep changing the name of this one. It's 15 funny tweets everyone should read this week. That's what they're calling it now. So this is like similar. Well, they keep changing the name. It used to be 15 Twitter jokes everyone should read, and then it was 15 Twitter jokes I thought were funny when I was drunk. It's always something different. But anyway,
just here's some shit you can read.
Yeah. Okay, it's the same thing as the last one, except it's jokes on Twitter instead of hi people on Tumblr. All right, number 1, gym teacher Kiami
No
says, that's real. Yesterday at Target, the cashier said, your receipt is in the bag, and I responded with, you too. So I've been dealing with that for the past 18 hours, but I'm slowly coming to terms with it, which is cool. That is so real. Oh, Kyle, thanks for making the clip.
You're welcome.
Cute, clumsy, flaming Minley. You know what's funny is we have that same exact clip basically from the last time I did it that Noun made, but now it's on List Critics, and you can hear Noun screaming, laughing.
Ah, jeez, I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's great. I love it. Ah, jeez. All right, number 2.
Jeez.
Skipani, currently being 2 cats, says, well, they post this picture. Have you seen this advertisement for these frozen lasagnas, and they're boasting 2 times the meat? I don't know. I've seen these commercials. They're like, this is twice the meat, you know. And I always like twice the meat of what? And if you look at it and you zoom in on the picture, it actually says 2 times the meat required by the lasagna with meat sauce standard. And they say, I'm sorry, the what now? Smearing it on my chest. Welcome, AJ.
Smearing it.
AJ, okay, so we came up with an idea for a zombie sneak attack record called Jazz Lunch. And it's based on the joke where musicians stuff sandwiches into trombones and like honk them into each other's mouths, and it would just be like wet trombone sounds and spaghetti hitting the floor. There's some coleslaw hitting the ceiling, you know, tubas farting. There's a salad falling down the stairs. All kinds of crazy shit.
Tubas farting.
An entire album of this.
Yeah. And then like a watermelon hitting the wall.
No, it's an entire album, and then like every track features different kinds of food.
Well, you know, like track 1 is breakfast. You know.
There's one that's a Caesar salad.
Okay.
Track 2 is schmreckfast.
Number 3, Dick Fu here posts a picture of them Googling how to bite a mosquito back, and they say, I'm tired of these motherfuckers. I don't think that's a thing.
I would not like to bite a mosquito back, please.
Like you basically I'm eating a motherfucker, but all right, I see you there.
Consuming your own blood.
Get a bird, and have that bird follow you around at all times. All right, number 3, Alafair Burke says, my friend who doesn't have Twitter sent this from her flight. It belongs on Twitter, and they showed this woman reclining in her seat, and she's lucky because must be at the very front because there's no seat in front of her, and she is holding up a tablet to watch, I guess, Netflix on, but she's holding it up with her feet, which are
nice.
Yeah. So
That's
there you
impressive.
Wow.
Dick Fu must have taken a long time to come up with that name. That's real. All right, number 5.
It's come a long time.
Yeah. Oh, well, Dick Fu does come a long time. All right.
Yeah.
Kala Walquist says, my parents are replacing their coffee machine, which is 7 years old. Me. That's not that old. I have sheets older than that. Well, perhaps your sheets aren't getting as much action as our coffee machine. I'm going to need an ambulance.
Jesus.
The ever elusive but oh so satisfying mom burn.
Man down.
That's like a burn of the highest caliber.
Well, they even know they're going to need an ambulance. Destruction 100. All right, Dev, a good girl. This is number 6. Dev, a good girl says, bro, quit live laugh loving. You're scaring the host. What?
Is that like one of those mural things you see in very mom-like homes?
I think that's the reference, yeah.
Yep.
All right, number 7. Cole Escola says, okay, now let's do a silly one. Me after sex.
This takes for me.
Oh, God. Now let's do a silly one. Okay, number 8. Okay, has anybody ever experienced anything like that? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Everybody just radio silence.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay,
Yeah,
number
that's
8.
a really good response.
Space Girl Incognito says, I never have in my life learned from another person's mistakes. I would literally let a giant wooden horse into my house right this second.
We learned something today.
Oh, my.
We learned that they don't learn.
You've got a friend in horse.
Oh, come on.
You do not have a friend in a horse.
We're bringing it back. Number 9. Clean State says, God, you're my son, Jesus. Do I have superpowers? Well, you could turn water into wine, walk on water, bread, fish. So, who's my enemy? Satan. He has shape-shifting, fire, rock and roll, charm. Wow, that's cool. Oh, he's super duper cool.
So Jubilee has better powers.
Oh, snap. Oh,
Ow.
shots fired. Woo! Shots. You know, I think they did a joke on it was like Text from Superheroes or something, where I think they were theorizing like, was Jesus a mutant? And Cable goes, he's like, I'm gonna go back in time and check, and they go, yep, he's definitely a mutant. But he kept calling me Bub.
I'm a mutant.
Dazzler, Bub. Well, they were implying that Wolverine was Jesus. Dr. Barrel says Dazzler has better powers. I don't know, man. Dazzler and Jubilee were basically the same character. Let's be real here. Instead of Disco Girl, it was 90s Girl. All right, number 10, the Drake Gatsby. I just want to pause to appreciate that.
I love it.
Of course you do.
Too good.
Nightclub, me, shouting over the loud music at the bartender. What is the soup of the day?
Yes.
That'd be me.
Yes.
I want to officially dare everyone to do that, to go to a loud, thumping, annoying-ass club and to do that exact thing.
So I DoorDash a lot, and like, it's really funny because a lot of them are like, you can get the soup of the day, and that's an item. And I click on it, and I'm like, can I tell what the soup is?
Yeah.
Nope.
But they don't tell you.
No, Barrel, Dazzler was before Jubilee, but the powers are very similar. 11. John here says, closes book, slowly removes glasses, and thoughtfully cleans them with a small cloth. I honestly don't think Waldo is in there.
He's wrong.
You're not looking hard enough.
Always there.
He's always there. Number 12, he's there and he has no pants on. Number 12, Joe Heenan says, my son told me there's a wee boy who comes into his room at night and plays with him. A shiver ran down my spine, and then I remembered that I have another son, and it's probably him.
Oh, God.
All right. Number 13, So,
this one's real good.
Gary from Teen Mom posted this picture. Somebody tried to paint their Volkswagen Bug to look like the dad fish from Finding Nemo.
Oh
And
no.
they even put like a fin on the top of the car and everything.
I think we need a
Oh
picture.
no.
But it looks satanic. Like, it looks really evil. And they post,
How do you make him satanic?
this is how, and it says, I'm going to post it in the Discord in just a second. But he said, where's my fucking son?
Oh.
Yeah.
I've got a particular set of skills.
I will find you. I just posted it on the Discord if you want to see.
Jesus Christ.
what
that's
it looks-
horrifying.
The eyes.
I know, isn't it terrible?
Oh,
Isn't it
The
awful?
that is freaking horrifying.
The
Now-
eyes look like
so-
titties.
Does that? Thank you for derailing this
Guys,
completely,
not for you.
Jesse.
Tits.
Tits,
Guys.
titties, Titania. Does that answer your question now?
That answers like no questions and just creates more questions.
It answers questions that you didn't ask.
Yeah. And it's created more questions that I'm afraid of finding out the answers to.
Things we didn't need.
Yeah. That's the first on the list. We should make a list. Things we didn't need. That's number 1. Number 14. Boog says, me, I'll have the acoustic donut baker. That's a bagel. All right. I get it. I it ain't making me laugh, but I get it.
Oh.
I don't know. I figured the acoustics of a donut might be actually better because it's got all that sweetness to it.
No, they're saying like acoustic donut as opposed to, I guess, electric donut. Like an acoustic.
I was going a little too deep musically.
You were thinking too much. You got to turn your
I
brain
did
down
the same thing. Now I got it.
several notches.
Hold on. There we go.
Okay, now you get it. Acoustic
so-
donut is a
But-
bagel.
But if you add like lox and cream cheese and stuff to that bagel,
Well, then it's awesome.
and it's not so acoustic, is it?
Ah. Well, that's like folk music. I said it. All right, and finally, number 15. electric donut. All right, James Alvarez.
Hungry.
James Alvarez says, Oregon Trail, 1852. Doctor, any final words? Man dying of dysentery. I just hope this gruesome experience isn't made into a game for children to play. All right.
Lol, you died.
Lol. You're imagining dueling banjos every time you eat a bagel from now on, Noun? Noun?
Indeed.
Oh, there you are. Ooh. That went right down my... That went right... Oh, you're everywhere. Damn, that went right down my spine. You're like, indeed. Like, I wasn't hearing you, so I'm, like, listening very carefully, and then I hear, indeed.
No, I hadn't said anything for a while.
It was
I
like...
just watching chat.
It's like ASMR Noun there. Okay.
I was like, why does everybody need my response all of a sudden?
Out of 15, 9? What, Jesse, what do you say?
I was thinking 9 as well.
9?
Cat.
Oh, Kyle.
9.
Noun.
I'm gonna be a sheep. No, I'm gonna be better than a sheep. I'm gonna say 8.
Oh, nonconformist. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say 9 like all these conformists. Hair flip. All right. I got another one for pleated jeans that I just brought up earlier and I think would be interesting. It's 25 signs that you are definitely a psychopath.
Oh boy.
Oh, let's see how high I can score.
Well, no, it's not like that kind of thing. It's just people. You'll see from the first one, you'll immediately understand it. So,
Are we gonna rate these on amount of mood?
Maybe we will. I always say the points don't matter. You rate them by whatever yardstick you want to rate them. We had certain people on the show that would like take it super seriously and like count each one that they liked and each one that they didn't like and keep a running tally. I just come up with a number at the end. I just spit nouns. See.
I rate by my feelings. So if you have a problem with that, well, you
Then
can
I
take
can't
it up
even.
with.
You can't even. Okay.
Supervisor?
Oh, I need to speak with your manager. All right, Jason Gay says there's a guy in this coffee shop sitting at a table, not on his phone, not on a laptop, just drinking coffee like a psychopath.
Fuck.
I would be a little unnerved.
It's unnerving, right? Hey, Sarah, how's it going? We're doing list critics today.
Like, I'd expect you
yeah,
to have to
exactly.
be on your phone or
Terry is right. Like, who does that? Who goes to a coffee shop and just sits there and drinks the coffee? You're probably just sitting there. Like, I imagine this person's eyes are like bugging out too.
They can't blink.
No, he was super shifty. He was just like looking around.
Like before I had a smartphone, like if I was out and I wanted to get something to drink, that'd be me. I'd just sit there and have my drink and
like a psychopath.
Yeah, but nowadays, no, you can't do that.
It's unthinkable. Number 2, if you don't pick the aisle seat on airplanes, you're a psychopath.
What about the window seat if you want to check out the cool clouds and shit or whatever?
The last time I was on an airplane, I was about 1 year old. So, I don't know.
Wow.
Well, it's been about 2 years now since I've been on a plane. I honestly don't care where I'm sitting as long as I'm not stuck around a bunch of freaks.
I wouldn't want to be in the middle part.
No, I'm thin, so I pick the first middle seat that I see that's open.
Oh,
because that
okay.
puts me near the front.
There you go.
Oh, smart.
Number 3, Father Tone says, if you sleep with your socks on, you're a psychopath.
I agree with that one.
Yeah, there's something off about that.
That would just kind of bother me, just knowing they're on my feet.
You'd wake up and like you only have one sock on, and then you have to like dig around for the one that fell off.
That's right. Yeah,
was rubbed on.
That's real though. I've been there. Because sometimes you don't plan on it, but you just kind of fall asleep, and then you wake up and
Oh God,
you're
Beryl is a psychopath.
like, you sleep with your socks sometimes. I don't know. Like I've fallen asleep with my socks on, and then I wake up and I'm like my feet are on fire.
Yeah.
Now wait, does he sleep with his socks or with his socks on?
Oh my! Well, it really just depends on what part of his body the socks are wrapped around.
No, maybe they're really cuddly and he like hugs them.
Yes, Jesse, you said what we were all thinking. Thank you. Golf clap.
I'm trying to not think it.
Sorry if I'm being too real for y'all.
No. I'm just picturing that they're really like soft, snuggly socks, and he just hugs them while he sleeps. La 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 la. I can't hear any other reality.
Like a security blanket. There
Exactly.
you go. Okay. Number 4, Kayla here says, if you bite ice cream, you're a psychopath.
No, then everybody's a psychopath.
But you don't literally bite it, like with your
I mean,
teeth and just chomp down on the bitch?
No, you don't like consciously do that, but like, you know, when you first dig into like an ice cream cone, you sort of use your teeth, right?
No.
No.
I have
I kind of
really
like
sensitive teeth, so
try
I can't
to
do
kind of like use my lips more and just kind of like gum off a piece, you know?
Oh no, we found out that Noun is a psychopath.
Let's be real here. Who isn't? All right, let's be. I don't know. You guys familiar with the Tourette's guy?
Oh, everybody
Yes.
is.
Do you know that he still occasionally makes videos?
Bob Saget.
Oh.
Bob Saget. So, well, Chris, the point is, how did it get into your mouth? Is what Noun's point is. But anyway, there was one kind of recentish video where his son was like bringing him breakfast in bed on Father's Day or something, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here," you know. And he goes, "Well, Dad, you're nothing but a no good 2-bit," you know. Like he had this like long string of insults, and he ended it with "piece of crap," and then there's like 2 beats, and then he goes, "Who isn't?"
Oh.
And I'm like, "That's real.
All right.
That's real. Who wrinkled my Abby Travis poster? Piss the seat." All right.
What the fuck?
We're quoting
Chat,
it.
dude.
Chat. Okay, number 5. Soph here says, if you drink milk just because you're thirsty, you're a psychopath. I was about to say or a small child, but they're all psychos. So.
Well, milk
If you
does
drink
quench your
milk-
thirst more than water does.
If
It
you
doesn't
drink milk
hydrate
for
you.
a
No.
small child.
Wait, I'm sorry. Now, could you say that again? Because my brain was imploding from what Jesse said.
Sorry, just quick rewording. If you drink milk or a small child.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
Oh my.
The blood of a human child.
Yeah.
Then obviously psychopathy might be involved.
Might be. All right, number 6. Thank you for that, Noun. Chelsea here says, if you could eat just a Kraft cheese slice, you're a psychopath. I'm not
That's kind of weird.
I'm not understanding what they mean. Do they mean if you can only like eat one and then stop, or just one by itself makes you a psychopath?
Just one and
One
then
by
stop?
itself.
No, you can't. No,
I-
I
It's
agree
just a
with
weird
this
thing,
one.
like you're hot. Sorry.
Oh, somebody
You're
got a
hung-
text.
Sorry about that. You're hungry and then you just eat one Kraft single. That's weird.
Yeah,
I-
that is
all right.
seriously weird. I agree.
I have to do it.
That is psychopathy.
64 slices of American cheese.
Yeah, thanks, Homer.
Wow.
And Marge finds him in the morning. He's like practically dead. I'm like, were you up all night eating cheese? All right, number 7.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Well, let's be real. I would prefer something better than, plastic cheese, but see, AJ gets a 64, 63. All right. If you sleep with your glasses on, you're a psychopath.
Several hours later.
Now, that's forgivable if you were drunk.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can fall asleep, but then you wake up and your glasses are bent.
if you do it on purpose, you're a psycho. Like if you're like, I need to be able to see my dreams, like, or some fuck shit like that.
Yeah. then
You have
you're
a wait.
psychopath.
Locust of Karen says he has 122 cheese slices in his fridge. How do you know the exact number?
I need to have that superpower.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's like that episode of King of the Hill where Bobby was taking all that allergy medicine. He was kind of fucked up, and he's like, "There's some milk in the fridge that's about to go bad," and there it goes.
No, I need to have this. I need to have the like aware of everything happening in my fridge superpower.
Okay, number 8. AA says if you prefer blue cheese over ranch, you're a psychopath.
What if
Agreed.
I don't like either?
I'm
Me
okay.
neither.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Fair enough.
I'm not a huge fan of blue cheese dressing, except for with hot wings, because that's amazing. But ranch dressing is the devil.
It is really bad.
It is just awful. I hate ranch dressing with the burning passion of a million dying suns. It's just
Dying
disgusting.
suns even.
Yeah, because they're exploding. They're going supernova.
Fucking neutron star up in
No, neutron stars after they collapse upon themselves and blah blah.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I don't mean a nerd.
Hey, we're all nerds here.
Nerd.
Nerd. Nerd. Hey, Marge, did you see me using that nerd?
Was that necessary?
No, it was not. But nothing we're doing is necessary. Let's be real. Nobody needs this. You know.
They do. So
Oh, all right. Okay.
they-
All right. Point taken. All right. Number 9. If you this is from April. If you can swallow a pill without drinking anything, you're a psychopath.
I guess I'm a psychopath then.
I mean,
am no. You're a shiny golden god, and I worship you, and I wish I had your power.
I mean, I could swallow a pill without drinking anything. I just don't prefer to.
I tried to swallow a Tylenol once without water, and I got it halfway down. Then I coughed, and it exploded in my throat.
Ew. I don't even
It was
understand.
terrible.
I don't even understand how a pill could be halfway down. It's either down or it ain't.
Well, I swallowed, but I didn't really have enough saliva, so it was just kind of like, I gotta swallow one more time.
Okay, hold on.
I didn't have enough
Can-
time.
Can somebody
Or just
clip what Jesse just said without any context, please?
I was going to say like
On it.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yes.
Hey,
that was just so good.
earlier I was recording with Clint, Newfie Bonga, and we were playing Pokemon, and he was talking about what's going on his side, and he said, well, as long as he doesn't lick me while I'm still sleeping. And I go, I want you to think about what you just said. And then it took him a minute, he goes, oh.
I tell
Welcome
people
to now.
like go stand in the corner and think about what you've done.
Hi, Gibbs. All right, number 10. Robert Mannion says, working out to classical music today. Like a psychopath.
Nah.
I don't
That
think...
makes me think of like American Psycho or something like that.
I know a guy who'd probably work out to.
At least that guy played Phil Collins. It wasn't... I don't know, man. That's fucked up. I'm not... Without outing this person now, was he an entire dick?
No.
Oh, okay. Just a
it's
weenie, not an entire wiener? Oh, okay, good boy. All right.
No, it was a good boy.
Number 11, Mr. Zero said, if a dog comes up to you and you don't pet it, you're a psychopath straight up. That is real. That is more real than anything.
It's so incredibly real. There's somebody who they work somewhere in my office on my floor.
I got it.
Yay!
Yay!
I like to picture the context, him being like, I got it.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Misty, sparkly, nigiri, tryhard.
But there's somebody
That is me.
who works on my floor who occasionally brings their gorgeous golden retriever in, and he's very courteous. He tries to keep his lovely doggo away from other people in case whatever. But oh my gosh, that dog wants to meet everybody, and
That's how it is.
Every chance I can.
That's how it is. It really do be like that. All right, number 12. Fuji says, if you like orange-flavored chocolate, you're a psychopath.
Wait, what?
Wrong. That is so incorrect.
I've had the chocolate orange, and it is a decadent experience, and this person is wrong.
Yeah.
I don't
Those
know,
chocolate
y'all. I
oranges
tried
are
Terry's
amazing.
chocolate orange, and that shit is... Ugh.
That sounds awful.
No,
Chocolate oranges are the
it's
best.
so good, but the raspberry one is even better. Just
I haven't
pointing
tried
that out
any
there.
other flavor.
You should try the raspberry one.
Half the fun is like cracking it open.
Yeah, you smash it and then it falls into slivers. It's awesome.
Maybe
good.
I'm the psychopath.
Maybe you are.
I think so.
Number 13. If
Put the key in the key.
put the key in the keyhole, Kyle. Number 13. If you drink soda with a spicy food, you're a psychopath. Or you're just hella hardcore.
Wait, say that
Yeah.
Soda with spicy food.
That's quite the mix. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're just hell of hardcore. I mean,
To be honest, I'm the whitest of white girls ever, and I can't really handle spicy foods much. But soda will calm it down. For me, like if I eat a spicy thing and I'm like, oh, take a drink of my Coke here.
Hey, now.
Yes,
You white.
I know.
No,
You white. Number 14, man with a plan says if you don't start with... Oh, I'm sorry. There's a thing that starts this where somebody said you buy a McDonald's meal, what do you start end with? And they say if you don't start with fries, you're a psycho and you deserve a death sentence.
Well, I guess everybody's a psycho, so...
Well, no,
I mean,
no, but
maybe
it's...
this person is a psycho. Jeez.
I mean, yes, maybe, but typically if you have like your hamburger and your fries and your drink, what is the first thing that you're going to put in your mouth is probably a French fry. Oh, sorry.
It's always the drink.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you got yourself bloodstained. I hope you're enjoying it. All right, so number 15, Josh here says, if you eat the crust on Pop-Tarts, then you're a psychopath. Wait a minute. I think, what are you doing? Punching it out? Like, you like take the middle and you like punch it out? Like, explain this to me, someone, because how do you not eat the crust part?
Like, do you just
just
break
rip it
off
off.
the outer area and then eat the innards?
They're cutting the crust off with a knife like they're Walter White making a sandwich for some meth dealer.
You just suckle on the innards.
Can somebody clip what Jesse just said without any context?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
I'm on it.
God damn.
Oh, God. Oh, Lordy. Oh, my
I
God.
can't wait for the supercut.
All right, number 16. If you like your steak well done, you're a psychopath.
You like to eat the bottom of shoes.
And we elected one.
Yeah, I know. We should put ketchup on it.
For real?
Oh, yeah. He also eats pizza with a knife and fork, so what is that?
Donald Trump wrote this list.
It's a dick move.
Just saying.
He would call this list fake news now because of the steak thing.
Steak news.
And then Dr. Barrel's like, did somebody mention ketchup? Steak news. I mean, fake news. I never said steak news. That's fake news. All right, number 17. If you like pineapple on pizza, you're a psychopath.
Wrong, and I don't even like pineapple on pizza.
Can I be just a psychopath sometimes?
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
Excellent.
you can.
It's-
I like it on
it's-
there sometimes.
It's not a binary where you're either a psycho or you're not. I know I'm crazy sometimes. Thank you, Sparkle, and the innards.
The innards.
Amazing ramshackle pasta, Mr. Destructoid.
And I trust, by the way, Kyle, that you're posting these in the Discord.
Can.
Oh.
Can.
I mean, he's not in voice chat right now, so he can't like.
Wait.
confirm
Oh, wait.
that
He
one.
left the voice chat?
Yeah, he leaves when he's clipping.
Oh. Well, dip. Oh, he's back. He's back. Okay. And I
Maybe
can
you just,
confirm
like,
that.
mute.
Yeah.
But yes, I posted
Hey
it.
everybody, the
Yeah.
sparkle's back.
The banga's back.
Back again.
Oh.
Sparkle's back. Hello, friend.
Hello, friend.
I'll
$1 for every time Yukon said that when I subbed.
you'd have like $3.
Yep.
I'm posting them in the Discord, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yes, he has. I see them there. Number 17, MG says... Oh, that's the same one I just read. Number 18, Sue says, if you eat pizza with a fork and a knife, you're a psychopath. Well, okay, so we know that our president tings 2 of these on the list now.
Evidence is piling, yo.
Yeah, I mean...
We gotta hit
Okay.
Area 51 now.
Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
Let's see them aliens.
So I've encountered an exception in which, like, they served like the most gigantic piece of pizza for you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you can't possibly pick that up unless with both hands, and then you're just gonna like end up making a mess. So I will concede that there are exceptions to that rule.
I would cut myself a piece that I could hold with my hand, and then I would eat it with my hand.
Fine.
That's what I would do.
Way to get around it.
That's right. That's real. Okay. Number 19K says, if you don't say bye to your pets before you leave, you're a psychopath. I don't make the rules. I agree.
I have full conversations with them.
I do too.
I don't go a day without saying something to Nitro.
Yeah, it's true. Right,
Oh my god, no.
Oh, he's sleeping.
My cat greets me at the door when I come home at night, and it's like, "Hi, sweet pea," every time.
Cameron Woods here says, if you tie shoes like this, you're a psychopath. It's like when you take the two loops and then you tie the two loops together. I don't know. I think, like, who cares as long as it gets the job done?
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
What is going on over there?
My headphones were being a bit of a pain. I think.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're moving around a lot there. Well, number 21, Ebony says, if you'd rather be cold than hot, you're a psychopath. No, I'd rather be cold than hot.
I would much rather be cold than hot.
I'd rather be cold than hot.
Yeah.
Because you can do things to heat yourself up, but there are very limited ways to cool yourself off.
That's exactly why. That's exactly why. Number 22, Sharon here says, if you don't do If you don't do brows first, you're a psychopath and need to be locked up. I have no idea what she's talking about.
What?
What? All right. What? Number 23, General Contest says, if your Twitter isn't in night mode, you're a psycho.
What?
Everything is in night mode except for Facebook, which doesn't have a night mode. Why? I don't know.
I know
Messenger has a night mode.
I know people who use Discord in light mode, and it's like, why would you do that?
Why is that a thing?
Why do you hate your eyes so much?
Light mode, and I'm like,
yeah, like it feels so much better.
I mean,
on the eyes,
I'm a migraine sufferer, so I need everything to be kind of, not dark, but not bright.
Soothing.
Exactly. See, Sarah's got the right idea. Just don't use Twitter.
I know, right?
Oh.
I didn't even know that.
This next one calls me out directly. Lanny here says, if this is your favorite Girl Scout cookie, you're a psychopath. Don't at me. It's the Samoa. That is my favorite Girl Scout cookie.
Oh, hey, that's my boss.
Samoas are pretty good, but I'm traditional with them Thin Mints.
Thin Mints are good and all, but like I don't know, the Samoa.
I'm more of a Thin Mint, yeah.
I like the Samoas like, slightly more than the Thin Mints. I think the Psychos are the one that like those shortbread cookies the most.
Okay, then I'm a psycho.
Really? There's like it's like eating It's like eating a brick of Pez.
Hey, well, bricks of Pez are delicious. Okay.
Okay, that's real. All right, and finally, number 25, Ashley Blaskek says you're a psycho if you don't sleep with a fan on.
I agree.
I mean, what if you have I and you don't need a fan?
I
use both.
Then you put the air conditioner on fan mode.
No, I don't know. I know that this is going to sound very strange, but I don't need things blowing on me when I'm trying to sleep.
Yikes. No, I can't sleep unless I have some kind of noise going on, and a fan provides that, and it also provides that nice breeze.
Unknown Riddle, I can be your fan.
Wait, nice. The Moogle Master. Wait, do the Boy Scouts
we need a clip,
sell
by the way, Kyle.
Did the Boy Scouts sell popcorn? What the fuck?
Yep. So,
weird.
Kind of like how Girl Scouts have their cookies, a lot of Boy Scouts sold popcorn.
Yeah, but I don't like the Boy Scouts. I don't like the Boy Scouts. They're terrible.
They really are.
They really are an awful organization.
Yeah, I hate the organization too. Actually, one of my friends used to be in it, and then his dad was the troop leader. And then one day he went up to his dad and was like, I want to quit.
Okay.
So then the dad, who had just put like $200 into new uniforms, of course, was pissed.
And
then the next week, they both just stopped showing up.
No. Well, there you go.
And that was that.
Thank you, Riddle, for the clip.
Yes.
Bright, round, salmon, brig brother. Okay.
All right.
Out of 25, I enjoyed this greatly. We're going to start with Kyle this time.
Oh boy, I'm gonna go with 15.
15 with noun.
I'm gonna go with 20.
Jesse.
I will ape noun's response with another 20.
You're gonna ape the response. I'm gonna say 22. It probably would have been higher, but that Girl Scout cookie shit.
Like even the ones that were not that great, we still had fun with them.
It is. Yeah, and the responses in chat are ranging from 15 to 20. So it sounds like we're right on schedule there. Schedule. Okay, I got a list here from Factinate. It's horrified people reveal the moment that they knew that their friends were monsters.
Oh Jesus!
This one might get kind of dark. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so number 1. I once went on a date with this guy I met who used to donate blood at my work. We went to dinner and it went pretty well. After dinner, we decided to continue talking in his car. We started making out for a while and eventually stopped it since it was getting a little too hot and heavy for a first date. We continued talking in his car, and this is when he decides to talk a little too much about how he really enjoys sex and extremely violent sexual games. Anytime I tried to change the subject, it would always go back to that. He then tells me that he especially enjoys knife play and would love cutting me sometime. And
Yikes.
God, do you have any mace? And that he enjoys watching videos of people getting slowly cut. I played it off saying, because he's a psycho. I played it off saying that I wasn't into that kind of thing, and I told him I was getting pretty late and that I should go. I haven't seen him since. That's a good thing.
I feel like I want to give that guy credit for, like, he actually tells people offhand.
He put himself out there.
Yeah, he's like, by the way, I enjoy this crap.
Yeah, but maybe second date?
Yeah, that's real. I agree.
Why would you wait for the second date?
But here's the thing.
Why don't you just admit that up front?
I'm going to actually go even further, though. I don't think that you should even wait for the first date. That should be on your, like, Tinder bio so that you can filter out all the normal people.
Like, by the way...
Just yell it to all random ladies on the street. I like cutting!
Yeah. Chris says it sounds like a Stephen King book. And not a particularly good one, right?
Are they ever particularly?
Maybe a novella?
I mean, he's written some amazing books over the years.
No, I was meaning like bad ending kind of wise. So. And then I realized, no, I'm not actually critiquing his writing.
Oh, okay. Number 2, a month into a new job, I went on a vacation with my boyfriend. An older man I had spoken to just a few times made me a scrap box filled with gifts about my vacation. I distanced myself immediately because I found it so strange that someone I barely knew would make me a gift for going on vacation. What does going on vacation warrant a gift? Now that I've worked there for years, I've learned that he's known as the office creep and asks all the new female interns if he can take their pictures.
What?
You got a nice wiggle on you. You want to be in pictures?
So he just wants to be like in pictures with pretty girls?
No, it just sounds like he just wants pictures of pretty girls.
Oh, God.
I don't like that.
He's building the spank bank is what it sounds like.
But at least it's his own spank bank. There's no way of justifying.
No, there's no way that anything you say makes that better. Only worse.
Don't even try.
It's turtles all the way down.
Exactly.
Okay, number 3.
I love turtles.
I know, right? Don't like diss the turtle. It's stolen nudie pics all the way.
No, okay, no. I was making a reference to there was this like astrophysicist guy who was making a speech, and some
dude,
woman...
I know what that came from.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna say anyway, just in case anybody out there is like, "What the fuck?" And some woman said that this is all bullshit. The Earth rests on a turtle's back. And he says, well, what is the turtle standing on? And she got very frustrated and said, it's turtles all the way down.
Well, maybe it's Gamera, a friend to all children.
Oh.
Yeah, but don't you think when he spins that would cause problems?
No, that's how we spin around the sun and shit.
You've thought about this more than just now.
No, pretty much right now.
Hey,
like,
now.
have you ever watched a turtle spin? Like, they don't do it particularly quickly.
You haven't seen Gamera, have
Yeah,
you?
I was just thinking of Gamera, though. Gamera's like Blastoise rapid spin shit going, you know? All right, number 3.
Nerds in here.
And you fit right in. I was acquaintances with a guy who developed feelings for me. I told him from the beginning that I didn't feel the same and everything seemed fine. It was a little too real, huh? Until he told me that he liked to cut out body parts of women from magazines and put them together into what he figured I looked like naked, and would talk to it at night as if he was having a conversation with me. He actually told me this as if I was going to be flattered or impressed. I immediately got right out of that friendship.
Wow.
I I kept thinking that it could not get worse.
And then it kept getting worse.
Yep.
I thought it was just as bad when you said it cuts out body parts of women. Full stop.
I know.
Well, yeah, if I,
know,
said...
and then it just
Okay.
continued to get like horrifying more and more.
That's like something out of like the first part of an episode of CSI, you know?
That reminds me of a creep I went to high school with.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
God.
Oh, my. All right, I don't want to hear that story.
You do, though. You so do.
I do, just not right now.
Okay.
Number 4. In college, I was getting to know a classmate. He was awkward and twitchy, but I saw no reason not to be kind. We would arrive outside the classroom at about the same time so we could chat for a bit. Maybe the 4th or 5th time, he was asking about where I'm from. I told him I described it as an especially small town. He seemed skeptical of how small I'd said the town was, so he grabs his tablet, opens Google Maps, and brings up my town, several states away from our university, mind you. When he brought the town up, I saw my house. Being an idiot, I pointed it out. So quietly, I almost didn't hear he whispered, "Gotcha," as he bookmarked my house's location.
Oh my god.
I honestly don't know what to do, and I went out of my way to never speak to that guy again.
Oh, time to die.
Yeah, that's not ending well.
That is when you call home and warn them.
That's when you call and warn everybody, the whole town. Just like give them
Your mom and dad, you love them.
give them a description of the guy and have like the National Guard called in. Holy shit. All right, number 5. When I was a young girl in my early 20s, have you noticed that almost all of these are women? That can't be a coincidence.
This is
Ain't
just
that
so
how it goes?
shocking. to me.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like,
Flower.
oh, hey, Flower. When I was a young girl in my early 20s, I shared an office with an older man in his 40s or 50s. He traveled most of the time, so it was easy to share the space. One time he left me a copy of a book he thought that I'd like. It was an erotic novel. I wasn't as friendly with him after that.
Nah, that'd be
That's a pile of
inappropriate.
it's a pile of
It
notes.
was the erotic adventures of Hercules.
It's like in The Office.
It was Rochelle.
It's like in The Office, and it's seriously like some kind of erotic fan fiction that he wrote about them, but he name changed them.
Ugh. I'm not okay with that. That's even worse.
Yeah, I've watched too much of The Office to not think of that.
Number 6. A girl I know likes to make people cry. Just that she enjoys watching someone cry, and she's trying constantly to lead people into it. I talked to her about it after a mutual friend lost his father in a car accident, and she would start the conversation about how it was just... She would start a conversation about it just to make him cry. She said she didn't think it was a bad thing and that everyone does it. I told her that she should get some help about it, but she says it's something she enjoys, so she doesn't need to be taken care of.
Wow.
That's a sociopath right there.
That's being a shitty person.
No, that's textbook sociopathy right there. That's because they assume everybody. Oh, everybody does this. Nasty.
Maybe they just tell that to themselves to feel better.
Either that or they've got some seriously repressed issues and they need to learn how to...
Not be such a fuckhead.
And they need to learn how to actually, like, feel them.
I mean, to me, that just screams of a complete and total lack of empathy.
And that's dangerous.
That's what sociopathy is. I mean, it is dangerous. All right, number 7. My high school boyfriend tried to convince me to complete a suicide pact with him so that we'd be together forever. He talked...
This started off at 11?
That's the first sentence, man. There's a whole paragraph here. He talked about how romantic it would be if we died together. Because of other things he'd said, because of other things, not that. I distanced myself from him slowly. He legit scared me. He still kind of scares me, even though I moved thousands of miles away and it's been years since we split. He's got some serious issues. Gee, you think?
What about the phrase "till death do us part"? Kind of ends there, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's real. And this is not marriage. This is high school romance.
That is actually some really solid, like, reasoning.
Wow. All right,
Why we want to kill ourselves, then we part.
Yeah, exactly. Number 8. Anytime my ex-boyfriend and I would get into fights, he'd go into his closet, grab a gun, and hand it to me. Then he'd tell me to just shoot him and get it over with. I ended things with him after that. Well, good deal.
But in what way did?
Yeah, you ended.
Oh, wait a
the
minute.
right way.
Well, I hope she didn't actually shoot him, but yeah, I mean that's trying to be extremely, I would say, emotionally manipulative right there. Just shoot me.
You're gonna cut yourself on all those edges.
I got a lot of personal experience with this sort of thing, but guns were not involved.
I'm glad that guns were not involved. Knives weren't involved either, right?
No, there were no pointing
Okay.
objects. There was only threats of divorce, and you know how that happened.
Did you know that there's a molecule in a knife?
You know, there's a molecule in water.
Oh
no!
Coincidence. Number 9.
Yep. GMOs everywhere.
Dude would often get drunk and... Have I ever told you about the dangers of dihydrogen monoxide?
Yes. Got him.
Got him! Alright, number 9. Dude would often get drunk and strip down to his briefs at social gatherings. He's currently awaiting trial for trafficking child porn. Okay, wait, hold up. Those two things are completely unrelated, but what?
Now we're going to sit here and think about this, and we're going to come to the most horrible conclusions ever.
Like, what does the first part have to do? You could just start with the second part. You don't need to tell us about how he would strip to his underwear at parties.
Just child porn, the end.
Yeah, that's all you need. Which, no, it's not all you need, but you get what I'm saying. Jesus.
All that is required for this story.
Yep.
Number 10. I'm a student nurse, have recently had a placement on a ward that takes care of elderly women. I had this one lady in her 80s come up to me and say that she had a son about 50 or so come visit. Apparently he lived with her. He seemed a little old to still be living with his mother, but overall he seemed normal enough. Later that day, another member of staff told me that he had told her the day before that not only does he share a house with his mother, they also share a bed. The whole thing freaked me out.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Wow.
And that man and that man's name was Seymour Skinner.
Damn you and the inflatable bath pillow.
Was he oh God, Terry, was he getting drunk at children's parties? I really hope not, but maybe? Maybe? Okay, number 11. Kid version of me learned from my mother that the girl down the block squeezed her hamster to death, so I was no longer allowed to go over there.
What?
I mean, on purpose, or?
Is that supposed to be amusing?
I hope not. I mean, let's face it.
Like an of mice. Maybe it was like an of mice and men issue.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
she
wondering.
Didn't know that her own...
Yeah, that's that. I was wondering if it might have been that. But let's be real, though. Like, if any of you had a child and you found out one of your child's little friends did that, you'd be like, you're not going over there anymore.
I mean, I'm already horrified because
Hi, Gibbs.
we had hamsters as kids.
That's pretty terrible. All right. Number 12. My friends and I in college knew a girl on our floor in the dorms who purposely kept her case of chlamydia untreated for months just to try and infect all the guys that wronged her during her undergrad.
This is upsetting.
Isn't that technically speaking a form of terrorism?
Biological warfare?
Yeah, kinda.
I think that they categorize that as terrorism now.
I mean,
Can you get charged for this if you know that you have it and you're spreading it
on purpose, out of revenge? Yeah. Locust of Karen says yes, it is. I thought so because I had heard a story, and I think you might be familiar with this, Jesse, of the woman who like she was trying to get her friend's boyfriend to get herpes or something, so they like kept they stole his underwear and they put it up against like their herpes sores and shit.
What?
Do you remember that?
You gotta get charged for that or something.
Oh no, that woman went to jail. If you remember, it was from one of those like crazy lawyer stories lists we did.
I can't imagine wanting to do such a thing to.
I mean, yeah, it's gross.
That is gross.
Number 13, I met my ex-best friend, who I shall refer to as Jason, in 4th grade, and our friendship officially ended in 11th. From around the start of 7th or 8th grade, he started acting real weird around me. I don't remember which of the inappropriate things occurred first, but the earliest memory I have is when myself and another friend were at Jason's house. We were playing Twisted Metal and some other games. At some point, we stopped and just started talking and throwing action figures or something. At this point, it was dark outside, so the only source of light was the overhead fan. Jason got up and turned the light out, which myself and our other friend found annoying. We both started telling him to turn it back on. I suddenly hear someone get closer to me, and I feel someone's hand go up my shorts into my boxers and start groping my private area. I naturally freak out and start swinging. I hit him a few times. He runs back over to the light and then turns it on and acts like nothing happened. I leave and we don't talk for a while. Being young boys did a lot of stupid stuff, none of which was sexual. I ended up forgiving him and chalking it up to his stupidity and to just trying to get a reaction out of myself and others. Fast forward to high school, in the 10th grade, and we sit together during lunch. Every chance he would get, he would reach over and grab my junk. I'd yell at him to get people to notice, but no one ever caught him doing it, and therefore no one ever believed me. The teachers I told also didn't believe me, super messed up now that I look back on it. One day, a friend of the girl I'm dating
So real.
Yeah, it is real, though. One day, a friend of the girl I'm dating is sitting to the right of me. Jason is on my left. God, this is a long story. I told her to look out for my signal. I know it's coming, so I move my chair back a bit and crouch over the table and give my friend on the right a look. When I see his hand coming over, I lean back, and once again he grabs me. This time I have a witness, and she gladly starts yelling that Jason is grabbing my you-know-what. That finally put an end to him doing that. At that point, I had already made new friends and was trying to get as much distance from him as possible. When he saw me starting to mainly hang out with other people, he went psychotic. He buddied up with my ex and tried to make me jealous. He took it out on another good friend of mine who he has already hated by pissing on his truck and other nasty, stupid things. And then he just went around trying to do damage control by saying it was me groping him all the time. I haven't spoken to him since our junior year of high school, over 17 years ago. I did see him years later at college. We were on the same sidewalk about 200 feet apart, headed right towards each other. When he realized it was me, he made a mad dash to his right toward an empty field just to avoid me. From everyone I've spoken to over the years, it was clear he had feelings toward me and didn't know how to express them. He never ended up dating any guys, as far as I know. However, from the stories I was told, he was very abusive to the girls he dated over the years.
Big shock.
Wow.
I mean... Yeah, that's...
He's got some kind of... There's got to be something going on in his head there.
I almost kind of... I feel a little sympathy here, you know? Because this person's, like, fucked up in the head. Like, they're deeply closeted and they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
That could be it right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the way to deal with it, though.
Just not knowing how to express it, and it comes out, unfortunately, that way.
That is fucked up. All right, moving on here. Number 14. Had a friend at the time who forced... Oh, okay. You know what? We're going to skip that one. We're going to... We're going to skip this now.
That word that you were starting to say. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not going to do that one. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
But it's a little triggery.
1, 2, skip a few.
Yeah, number 15. I used to play Dungeons & Dragons in high school with a group of friends. There was this really uptight guy who would always be very excited about the prospect. I was the DM and convinced my friends to try him out for a few sessions. Turns out he was just socially...
yeah.
Jesus. Turns out... All right. Turns out he was just socially awkward due to very mild autism. He was hilarious at the meetings, and we all enjoyed having him around, although he had a huge crush on my cousin who played and was very socially awkward about it. My cousin found him attractive and actually dated him for a while and slept with him. On Halloween, we were having a game, and my cousin is dressed as a sexy zombie. That's weird, but all right. Weird. Yeah.
Okay.
Weird flex, but okay. Yeah, Sarah, we'll do a less messed up one after this. He was acting very weird and behaving very strangely the entire game. We all noticed it, and my cousin was quite concerned when he looked like he was going to just explode on us in anger. She walked over to him, and he freaked out, and she just said, "Oh my God." She looked at us and said, "He's masturbating under the table."
What?
Oh, dude.
Why?
Time and place.
Yeah, neither of those, right? He freaked out and stood up without zipping.
Look at my car.
Just make it really worse, okay?
Walked out into the bathroom and came back trying to act all normal and wanted to continue the game. He legitimately did not understand the severity of what he just did. Removing him from the group after that was the saddest thing I ever did. He legit did not understand why we wanted him gone.
Comes back from the bathroom. He's like, so guys, how about that baseball, huh?
Yeah. And they're like, how about you put your penis away?
grunting and groaning in the bathroom, and it's like a room away.
Yep.
Wait, Barrel says just angry jacking under the table. Good God.
Something even worse that happened once at my middle school.
Oh God.
Yep. So everyone was given an iPad,
Okay.
and there's this one kid who had nothing better to do with his life than to look up hentai.
Okay. As you do.
One day, he decided to do this while he was in class during the lecture when he should have been taking notes.
Oh, I'm sure this went real well.
Yep. So the teacher sees him doing something a little out of the ordinary.
A little
while
bit.
also on his iPad, and he was never allowed to use a school computer ever again.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Jesse. We could not have proceeded without that.
That actually is true, though.
Yeah. Number 16. I just got out of the Navy and I was taking a few classes at a community college. I'm there for maybe a week or two when I get an email on my student email from a guy who says, "Hey, you went to X school for 1st and 2nd grade, right? We used to hang out." I see the name. I remember being friends with a kid with that first name back then, but last name, who knows? Do you remember the last names of everyone in your 2nd grade class? But hey, cool. I tell him I'm at the library, come by and say hello. Dude walks up and I instantly recognize him. He's totally a guy I went to grade school with for a year or so, but he has this stoic, creepy demeanor. We exchange pleasantries, but I begin noticing that he is generally parroting back to me whatever I say. "What have you been up to?" "Oh, I was in the Navy for 6 years, just got out. You?" "I just got out of the Navy too." "Cool, how long were you in?" 6 years. "What was your rate?" "I don't remember." Note to civilians, this is the way we tell when someone is lying about being in the Navy. All in all, just...
Or kind of anything, right?
Yeah, right.
Right, yeah.
All in all, just a creepy and weird interaction all around. Then I get home and I really think about it. Was this guy just sitting at a computer near but not in the library, punching in the names of everyone he knew throughout his life? He didn't pull my name off of a new student list. He found it by searching the directory. Never saw him again. Never really cared to seek him out, but definitely one of the strangest encounters I've ever had. In the Navy.
Have you ever been in a conversation and at some point maybe, you don't know them that well, so at some point you just go, "Oh yeah, me too, sure," just to keep things going?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'd like to think not.
I've only done that to get out of the conversation. Like they'd be like, I don't know, they'd say like, I just went shopping for whatever, and I go, "Oh yeah, me too. Anyway, I gotta go."
Yeah, I like knives.
I like cutting.
They were...
So let's go cut some people up sometime. Yeah, alright, here's my phone number.
All right, number 17. I used to be friends with someone who was legitimately delusional about a sports celebrity figure to the point where I was so creeped out that I couldn't stand being around her anymore. She committed fraud to get tens of thousands of dollars to move to the city he lives and plays in so she can go to every game. She started learning another language so that they could communicate. He's not a native English speaker. She even went so far as to live her life around the uniform number he wears. For example, the temperature is only ever set at that number because it's his number. Thankfully, it's something vaguely reasonable. She once held up a sign at a game, and he saw it, and she was completely 100% convinced that he'd remember her forever. Oh, that's... No, see, see, Sarah, this is proving that you're not weird. Okay? There are way worse people out there. You're pretty cool, actually.
See, the thing is that like having a crush on a character is far different than having a crush on the person who plays the character.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but you're not like, yeah, exactly. Like if there was like an actor who played Sephiroth and you were like stalking him, that would be weird.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how many people I know that wanted to stalk Chris Evans on Thursday?
Oh God.
Yeah, you mentioned he was in town. Yeah. See, I would want to leave him alone. I mean, the poor guy just probably wants to do his job and get the fuck out of there. See you later, AJ.
Life, you know.
Yeah. Well, he was there to film something, so like.
That was a huge crowd of people that were just watching.
Feel better, man. Okay, so let me continue this because that's not the end of it, of course. The sports figure is also married to a supermodel, of course, and she was obsessed with the wife, too. There were other awful behaviors, but she was so obsessed that I literally couldn't stand to be around her. Well, at least it didn't end with her, like, murdering the guy or anything.
Could have been worse.
Yeah. Number 18. I'm a 24-year-old guy, and the only person I ever tried to avoid is the guy that hosted the foreign exchange students while I was in high school. He was a normal-looking 50-year-old guy that was single and lived by himself, but he always hosted foreign exchange students every year, and I was usually friends with them. I'll give an example of some of the things he has done that creep me out.
God.
First time meeting him, we were going to an amusement park with the German foreign exchange student. As I get in the car, he says, "You're actually pretty ugly. From far away, you looked good, but you're ugly up close."
Good start.
Yeah, right. I'm just like,
Acceptable.
not this world. I'm just like, that was the first thing he ever said to me. Later that day, while driving there, somehow they started talking about avalanches, and he said, if we were driving and an avalanche was covering us and we became trapped, I would just... Alright, we're going to skip this one too.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm sorry, guys. You know what? Fuck this list. I'm done with this shit.
It's about time.
I'm sorry.
I give this list an F for failure.
Yeah, I agree with this
I give
rating.
this list an F for fuck this list.
I give it an X for extremely unnerving.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Language, people, language.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad, okay, guys?
Oh, are we trying to, like, watch our language? Because I swear like a sailor.
Shitcock.
Okay.
Watch your fucking language, please.
Yeah, watch your fucking language. You can't fucking curse on Twitch.
Watch your fucking language, you piece of shit.
Okay, I got one that's more fun, but let's just strike that from the record. Dead. All right. This is from oolah.com. Diners share the biggest server meltdown they've ever witnessed while eating out. I assume they mean in a restaurant.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, all right. Okay. Notice how Sparkle got really fucking quiet there.
You know what? Shut up. There have been times when I've had 7 servers go down. My boss was on vacation.
Oh,
Caitlin was sick. I didn't even know what the hell to do. Everyone is like, hey, I can't get into my email. Hey, I can't log into my computer. Hey, CareLogic isn't working. I'm like, oh my god, just give me 10 minutes to just figure some shit out.
What does this have to do with anything?
I heard server.
No. Okay. First of all, wow.
Derail.
No, first of all, they mean like waiters and waitresses
True.
having meltdowns. And secondly, I was saying you got all quiet because we made a joke about eating out.
Yeah.
Like cunnilingus.
You know. Pleasure.
Oh, got it.
Like applying a tongue to a vagina.
Oh, look what you've done to my poor church mouse now.
That does not make sense.
Church mouse. You're gonna stick with that.
Hey, you called me, what was it, plankton? So.
Phytoplankton, at least?
And I still haven't gotten that secret formula from you, by the way.
I'm doing this in our Christian Minecraft server.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, here we go. My family was dining at a Chili's once, and our waitress kept disappearing for long spans of time. Going out for us was a treat, especially with 5 kids, so my parents weren't too happy when we would get restless over not having water or sodas for 20 minutes. And also for not having food for over 2 hours. We were
Okay.
That's a bit extreme, huh? We were young kids. I'm surprised we waited that long while hungry. Anyway, my mom takes my sister and I to the restroom, and we see our waitress chatting on the phone, sitting in a stall, door wide open. My mom is understandably upset and finds the manager as soon as we're done taking care of business. Like I said, we were young and not wise to wait with certain things. Who sort of every day. All right. Who sort of rolls his eyes and says something like, "Again?" A couple of minutes later, we're back at our table with a new waitress taking care of us, who we see our first waitress knock over a tray full of glasses, screaming and cursing and demanding to know who ratted her out. The manager calmly tells her that it doesn't matter and asks her to leave before he's forced to remove her. She continues on her cursing and yelling. A few tables over was a group of half a dozen cops who all stood up and told her she was disturbing the peace and was in danger to those in the restaurant. When she still didn't calm down, they dragged her out. If I remember right, our food was free and we didn't have to wait for drinks after that.
Oh.
Makes me think of that viral bagel video. The guy at the end just like, I just wanted bagels. And the dude was, like, freaking out everywhere.
I think I've seen that. It's funny because
sometimes you wonder how people like live to be old enough to actually get a job because they just can't behave.
You know what strikes me about that is, well, there's two things. One is that she's sitting there like in the toilet stall on the phone with the door wide open, like
I know, right?
not even trying to hide it. And then the second thing was the manager's reaction, like, again?
Like, you just put up with that for a while.
It sounded like that was the last straw anyway.
How many straws were there, I wonder?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Paper straw.
2 hours, like nobody came to be like,
oh, 2 hours.
Such and such.
2 hours is too much. All right.
Way too much.
A guy I delivered pizza with had his parking spot taken by a guy he hated. They weren't assigned spots either. We all just had our spots. Anyway, he pulled out a giant monkey wrench out of his trunk and smoked him in the back of the head with it. Knocked him out. Yeah, he got arrested and fired. I mean, pizza delivery can be high stress, especially in a college town, but this guy was ready to snap on a daily basis.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Jesus.
I hope the guy who got clocked with a wrench was okay and didn't have like a fucking traumatic brain injury from that.
That's what I'm hoping.
And
Jesus.
got, redeemed for like the medical services. Damn.
So what? He just parked long enough to go deliver the pizza and then was going to be out?
Who knows?
I mean, not that even is important. It's just the fact that like somebody was that possessive over their damn parking space.
Like, you took my damn spot. Okay, next one. I used to work in a kitchen in an old folks' home. I had a manager named Edward who was a know-it-all piece of uninformed crap. I didn't know that crap could be informed or uninformed, but there you go. I had a coworker named Tina who had a very serious medical condition and required a certain medication at certain points of the day. Edward didn't like Tina or the fact that she needed to keep her medication on her person. One day, Tina forgot her medication and begged to run home and retrieve it. Edward smugly denied her and told her to finish work. And she didn't just give him the finger and leave. That's what I would have done. So she tried and ended up briefly collapsing. She was okay, but very weak and disoriented. Edward grabbed her by the arm, escorted her to her car, handed her the keys, and told her to leave. Then he left it to go tell anyone that would listen that Tina was on something. No, she wasn't on something. That was the problem.
Yeah, Jesus.
Wow. Let go of my arm, sir.
Tina was in the parking lot and called her mom to take her to the hospital. Tina was only 20 and very scared. Tina was discharged that night after receiving some fluids and came back the next day upon hearing what Edward told everyone about her. She stormed into HR, screaming for them to bring Edward into the office immediately. As soon as he was called in, she whipped her name tag at him. I obviously lingered close by like a nosy Nancy. She was screaming at the top of her lungs that Edward refused to let her go home to get her medication, which was on file and he was very aware of, and how freaking dare he accuse her of being some filthy illegal substance. And if he really believed that she was under the influence of something, how stupid was he to put her in a car on the company's property, leaving them liable for her damages? At this point, much noise could be heard as three of them were all screaming full force at one another. She threatened legal action and stormed out. Well, she did take legal action for a ton of stuff, including putting a clearly ill person behind the wheel. Not long after this, I also quit, and a few months later, Edward was no longer employed by the kitchen, but rather was working as a deli boy in the local grocery store. I don't know what happened with Tina's lawsuit, but I hope that place and Edward got everything they deserved. The place was a complete fucking A. That place was a complete nightmare, and despite complaints made against Edward, nothing was really done because my boss was a piece of crap, but she's currently under investigation for fraud, so I'm sure she'll get what's coming to her soon enough.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there.
That's fine. We all step on each other. It's a mutual foot mashing here.
We like feet.
Somebody had to go there, and for some reason, I'm glad it was you now. All right, here's the next one. It was my first job working as a host at a local restaurant. Our short and stocky chef was being particularly pestered by our 15-year-old dishwasher boy. Now, this dishwasher boy was annoying on any given day, nonstop talking, tons of gossiping, whining, and bragging pretty much from the start to the end of a shift. I'm standing at the host station at the tail end of the evening rush when out of nowhere I hear our chef yell, through the walls of the kitchen, mind you, "That's it, you little twit!" followed by the high-pitched wail of the dishwasher boy. I only have time to jerk my head towards the racket when the dishwasher boy comes sprinting out of the kitchen, still screaming, past me, past customers, and out the door of the restaurant. Seriously, him shrieking as he ran was the only time I had the chance to experience the Doppler effect without a vehicle passing by. Seconds later, the chef bursts out of the kitchen and follows him out of the restaurant hot on his heels. What incited the altercation was that the dishwasher boy was being his usual aggravating self, and the chef, having had enough of his crap, told him to knock it off. Dishwasher boy then decided the appropriate thing to do would be to overhand throw a spoiled spoon at the chef while he was working at his station. Spoon caught him square in the face, and that was that. So now every customer in the restaurant and I are staring in awe into the parking lot as chef closes the distance on Dishwasher Boy. Dishwasher Boy, this is compelling as fuck, I just want to say.
This is such a novel.
Keep going.
Dishwasher Boy appears to turn and say something to the chef in frantic defense for himself. Whatever he is trying to say is cut short if chef grabs his torso with both hands, literally hoists him above his head, takes 2 large steps towards an open steel dumpster, and hurls the Dishwasher Boy right into it.
Holy fuck!
He fucking yeeted him into the trash. Chef walks back in and gets back to work without saying a word. Dishwasher boy climbs out and comes back in crying and gets back to work. Customers ask me what the heck just happened. We received a lot of customer complaints that night.
Wow.
I don't know. That's dinner in a show.
I wouldn't be... Yeah. I gotta agree with Jesse on this. If I witnessed something like that, I would give them like a bigger tip than normal.
Like my concern is that somebody was abused in that situation, namely the person who got dunked in the trash.
It sounded, yeah, without knowing the backstory, right?
But that is effing hilarious.
Yeah, just grab. And I love that he didn't even kick his ass. He just like hoisted him up like freaking like Mario bringing a turnip above his head and yeet, like right into the fucking dumpster. Like
it's like a scene out of an '80s movie. Just cue the yakety sax.
12%, Karen? No, that deserves like a 30% tip. 12% is not very good. Okay, next one. The schedule. I work for fast food and usually open the store. The scheduling works out so the opener is in at 6 a.m., the next person is in at 7 or 8, depending on the day, and the manager is in at 9. The day in question, I started at 6, and the next person was scheduled for 8, and the manager was, for some reason, scheduled at 8 as well. On to the story. It started out as a slower morning, and I was doing fine, serving regulars and the odd drive-through that came in. Close to 8, more people were coming in, regulars and non-regulars mixed. I had 3 cars lined up and a line to the door. It was at the point where help would be appreciated, but I knew I had 2 people coming in soon. 8:15 came and went, and no one was here yet. I had breakfast orders coming in the chute, and I start forgetting who ordered what, and I still hadn't taken the drive-through orders. About half an hour later, no one had shown up, and I had tears streaming down my face. A regular customer actually came behind the counter, made some more coffee, and started yelling out orders for people to claim so that I can get my drive-thru orders. Wow, good guy customer, huh?
Hero.
Wow.
Everyone inside the restaurant was super kind and understanding, although I had a few drive-thru customers yell at me. By 9 a.m., both my manager and my coworker showed up apologetic for being late. It took 10 minutes for them to deal with the rest of the mess while I calmed down in the back. A couple of customers came up to me after and told me that I did well for hanging on. The woman then helped take orders, gave me a hug, and sat down with me for like a minute as well. I wouldn't have made it without her.
Oh my gosh.
There's still good people in the world.
Wait a minute. Karen, you tip 6%? That's not okay.
Where's Karen from, though?
Here, have 30 cents.
Kentucky.
Oh,
What?
Jesus.
Wow.
That's... You tip 10? I don't know, man. Like, 15 is like bare minimum, to be honest.
Yeah, 15 is like...
It should be 15 for like shit service.
15 is like your starting zone.
Yeah, 20 is like it was good, and like 25 would be that was really good. Nothing's wrong with Kentucky. I'm just like that. There's not. Yeah, that's not a place. That's not like it's a foreign country or something. So that's why it's shocking.
The thing that's wrong with Kentucky.
You mean Mr. Pink?
That is the thing that's wrong with the entire United States, which is that we are not paying our servers properly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you got to realize that people make, like, people who are servers, they make like $2 an hour.
These servers make shit.
Yeah. All right, next.
People are like, oh, well, that's... Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. One of my coworkers yelled at a pregnant lady. He was putting back stuff in an area and his cart was blocking the way of the aisle. He was already in a bad mood because the manager asked him to put back some stuff that someone had decided not to buy. A pregnant lady came down the aisle, and since he was blocking the way through, she asked nicely if he can move. He mumbles a reply, and she said she can't make it through that space. He turned around and yelled, saying, if you weren't so freaking fat, you'd be able to make it through.
Yikes.
Yikes. The lady was in tears. He was called into the office, and he was fired. He was already on thin ice. Idiot.
Straw that broke the camel's back. Wait, I should have said that.
I mean, it wasn't even that. It was just simply, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, the guy's a dick.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it.
That's not okay to say to anybody. Let's be real here, you know?
That is true.
Okay. I once worked as a pizza delivery driver, and this was before GPS. We had 30 minutes to deliver the pizza. I couldn't find a customer's apartment, and it was a gated complex. I finally got so frustrated between the customer not being able to tell me where they live and driving around in circles that I hit the box repeatedly against the gate and drove back to the store. I told my manager that I couldn't find the apartment and they need to redo the pizza because I shook the box badly. It was the end of my shift. I clocked out and left. Apparently, he did not believe me and sent the next person with the same pizza in the same box and did not open the box first to see the damage I did. Yeah. The customer was not happy with the pizza being stuck to the top of the box. I did not get fired. A few people did comment that I must have really shaken that pizza. I mean,
Man, that's quite the shake. Damn.
He beat it against the gate like Jason Voorhees with a sleeping bag.
Against the tree?
Dat reference though.
That's so silly, that scene.
They did that twice, too. It was in 2 different movies, and in Mortal Kombat X as well. All right, next one. A Pizza Hut manager asked one of the drivers to put on his uniform shirt. The driver flipped out and tried to set his shirt on fire in the lobby while screaming about oppression. There's a little bit.
I'm starting to doubt the legitimacy.
No,
is there a step missing?
No, I don't know, man. That's amazing. Then he took off for some reason and drove to the airport where he jumped the fence leading to the tarmac. He got roughly arrested by the airport cops. We never saw him again. Turned out he drank a bunch of Robitussin. There's your answer, Fishbulb.
That'll do it.
The Tussin.
I'm thinking of that that South Park episode where they tried to come up with ideas for their news show and they just drank a bunch of cough syrup.
Ambien CR. That's the medicine you want if you want to do some crazy stuff.
Okay. I was eating my lunch with my kids, minding my business, when the manager pulled the waitress aside and asked her to give some tables over to some other waitress whose section was kind of empty. She cut in, No, I'm sick of losing my tips to her just because she's your side piece. I didn't even know what that meant. My daughter had to explain it to me. He said, you're making a scene. Maybe you need to take the rest of the day off. And she said, you're the one making the scene. Maybe I need to take a new job. And she threw her apron on the ground and got her bag and stormed out the back.
Wow.
All right. Okay, Sarah, feel better. Glad you came by.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for popping in.
Yeah.
I hope you feel better soon, Steph.
I love the idea that the woman didn't know what side piece meant and her presumably young child had to tell her what that meant.
Whoa, Wallace X, tie.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Riddle has a
paragraph there. I just remembered I have a story that fits this list. When I worked at Wendy's, I had a female coworker who was 17 years of age. She was snarky and a bit lazy. It's late at night. Another coworker finds a picture of her on Facebook with a male coworker 10 years older than herself. She saw the coworker looking at the post and freaked out. She thought she would be made fun of and fired because of this relationship. She left the building and didn't come back for 2 hours. She wasn't fired. Well, at least there's that.
At least it ended well.
At least it ended.
At least it ended like no.
At least it ended.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. All right. When I first started working retail, it was for this family-owned grocery store. It was fairly decent size and had a ton of loyal customers. I had been working there for 5 months. I was 16 years old, and it was my first job. We had an older lady named Michelle who'd worked there since it opened like 20 years ago. I had no keys to the register, and there were certain things I could and couldn't do, like refunds. Anyway, Michelle never ran the register. She kept the store stocked because I was better at being the face of the store than when people entered, and was better at being on the register. I just didn't have keys, so I had to call her up for help. Michelle didn't like that, even though it was one of the reasons she kept her job after customers kept complaining that she was rude to them. Well, I come in for my shift, and right off the bat, I get hit with like 3 returns, someone needing to break a $100 bill. I wasn't allowed to do that. And finally, I ran out of 1s, 5s, and 10s. So I needed Michelle to come up and help me again. Michelle stormed around the corner, threw open the safe where we kept more money, and just threw the trays of money on the counter, where it slid across the counter and landed on the ground, scattering money everywhere for customers to pick up. Luckily, the customers were decent people and handed me all the money and the broken till. I got myself set up, and despite being young, I decided to chastise Michelle because that's childish behavior. All I got out was, "Come on, Michelle," before she pulled the lanyard with the keys around her neck off and chucked them at me with a resounding F you. And that was how I got promoted to key holder.
Huh. Someone didn't know it was free money day.
Well, she can put the key in the keyhole.
Ah!
Bringing it back.
That is a field promotion right there.
Way to
Holy
go,
shit.
man.
Yeah. Okay, next one. The restaurant was not very crowded. After ordering, I overheard the waitress asking the owner for a larger portion of the tips. I guessed from what I could overhear that the boss was taking all the tips for himself and paying only a fraction back to the staff. Ooh, that's scummy. I didn't have any trouble hearing the rest. The owner began literally yelling at the waitress, saying she was ungrateful, she should feel lucky for getting anything, and she should just leave if she didn't like it. This happened in full view of everybody in the restaurant. I would like to think that she did quit eventually, but from the dead-eyed expression she had when she brought our food, I get the feeling that she was in no position to do so.
I literally hate that boss.
Already in too deep.
I would like him to suffer. Like,
Yep.
not necessarily pain, but maybe just intense itching all the time.
Oh God,
Constantly
yes.
annoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, just, like maybe like just the feeling of like one of his socks being slightly askew, just enough to be uncomfortable,
Like it's caught on one of his toenails.
And yes,
Or it's
Barrel. Yes, that is illegal.
Or it's like a constant Lego foot.
Ooh.
Oh, that's, I don't know, that might be torture.
Yeah, but if anybody in the world deserves it.
Right?
Just saying. All right, next one. I was at a burger place called BurgerFi, or BurgerFi, I don't know how you say it, with 2 of my friends. One of them worked there. We went to grab a bite there, but then all his coworkers accused him of doing a bad job or something, which led to him getting reprimanded by his manager. He wasn't having it, and he cussed out all the staff, saying, "F all of y'all." This place effing sucks. I wonder if he literally was saying that, or if this
That'd be
person's
so
censoring
funny.
it. This place effing sucks. Me and my other friend just kind of awkwardly walked out with him while I made eye contact with the manager holding the door for us. Obviously, we asked about what happened, and he said there were 2 supervisors that hated each other, and one of them told him not to make some patties, and that the other one told him to make. He got in trouble for not making the patties, then his coworker accused of him being... Oh, this is the Krusty Krab, I get it. Of him being on his phone when he shouldn't have been working. My friend went from being totally chill about his job and seeming to like it to throwing loud F-bombs inside the store as we were leaving. Luckily, there weren't that many people inside except for one family eating at a table, a father with 2 of his young kids who looked understandably shocked. While I didn't agree with his meltdown, I still felt very bad for my friend because it sounds like his coworkers threw him under the bus. I personally think that if he hadn't blown up, he could have kept his job since it sounded like a dumb drama between supervisors. That's
So, like, what does the F stand for?
Farfignugan.
Fuck!
Frankenfurter.
Falafel.
I'm fucking hungry. Thanks.
Frugal.
Fantasia.
2000.
Phantasmagoria.
Phantasmic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fanta.
Fantasy.
Ah! Oh! Femur.
Oh, flagrant.
Fantabulous. Flakes!
Fabulous.
Frankenstein.
Foreplay.
Oh. All right, next one. I was eating at Wendy's when I was about 7 or 8 with my family after my cousin's swin meet. They only had the they had the old school box trash cans that they had to pull out the inside to take out the trash. My uncle bet me $10 to climb inside and scare the worker when he came back to put the trash bag in. The worker came back, I jumped out and scared the crap out of him. The worker yells, "F this," threw his broom across the restaurant and left. Well, Locust has a little story. My fiance had a boss. My fiance had a boss that got federal credit, and no one took tips because he would share them with the workers in the back, which is illegal, and wasn't paying them for breaks, which they were supposed to do as well. They didn't file taxes in that, and the servers ratted him out. Well, that ended well, right? Okay. Jesus. All right, next one. I had a coworker freak out at a customer at Walmart. I used to be a cashier, and people used to tend to treat us like crap. Anyway, the lady got in a tizzy because she couldn't price match some Doritos because it was the wrong size or something. Anyway, it escalates. We can't find the manager, and a few minutes later, they're screaming at each other. The cashier's parting words with, "I ain't effing price matching your Doritos. You don't even need those Doritos with your fat butt." Needless to say, that was her last day.
Wow. What you gonna do with the big fat butt?
Yeah.
I hate myself for laughing.
I also hate you for laughing. No, I'm joking. It's funny, though.
I'm just hated by everybody.
Welcome to the List Critics Noun. Okay. God,
Hey now.
Hey now. There's this.
Hey now.
Oh.
I got a text.
And it's loud. There's this Greek restaurant where I grew up, and the last time I was there before this incident was probably 10 years prior. It was a very average restaurant, so not worth going to. The 2 to 3 times my family and I had gone there, we had bad service, so we stopped going. Cut to the day of the incident. I ended up going there with friends because someone wanted to try it. You know, I just got to say, when you have a friend who's like, "I want to try that place," and you're like, "No, it's no good," and they're like, "Come on, let's try it," you really should put your foot down because it always leads to stories like this.
Seriously.
Okay. I figure it can't be the exact same after 10 years. Good Lord, was I wrong. There was about 12 of us, and we all get seated within about 30 minutes. You'd expect them to give us a server who's at least been there a while, but we got a server who was literally waiting on her very first table ever. She took our drink orders, and we didn't see her for 15 to 20 minutes. She brought out some of the drinks, maybe 2/3 of them, and took appetizer orders. We never saw her again after that. We eventually got all of our drinks after someone else served the rest. 20 or so minutes later, a couple of the appetizers come out, except one of them was something no one ordered. All in all, it took us about an hour just to get our food, and again, the food was average, nothing outstanding. Turns out she had broken down crying, quit, and went home. Getting put on a 12 top for your first table ever was a trashy move, but I think there was more to it than that. I felt bad for her. It was a bit funny to me that the trend continued even after a decade.
Yeah, I'm thinking like really bad management.
You know, Barrel is dragging it out of me. I was thinking about whether or not I should bring this up because we've only done a couple lists and it's already almost 10. But I do have a story where my friend Brandon, who sometimes comes to the streams, we were going out to eat somewhere and there was this place near here. It no longer exists. It was called Big Willie's, and it was, yeah, I know, haha. And it was like a barbecue restaurant, but it was really, really bad. And he's like, "I want to try Big Willie's." He doesn't talk like that, but for the purpose of this, he does. So anyway, I told him that place sucks, and he's like, "Come on, I want to try it." I'm like, "Oh, God damn it." So I was like, we went there, and I figured, what is the one thing I can order that they can't really fuck up too badly? I ordered a turkey club sandwich, and he ordered like some kind of hamburger, right? I figured turkey club sandwich is like pretty simple shit. You can't fuck it up that badly, right? So he gets his fucking hamburger, and the waitress puts down this plate, which has this alleged sandwich on it. And as it goes by my face, I can smell the rotting meat. And I'm just like, whoa. And I gingerly take a little sandwich triangle, and I put it near my face, and I take a whiff, and I was just like practically blown away by how bad it smelled. It was rancid meat. The turkey had gone bad. And then I had to, of course I obviously want to say something, but I had to wait for the waitress to show up, which was a good 10 minutes or so. I get her we were the only ones in there, by the way. And I get her attention, and I come over, And she's like, is everything okay? And I'm like, no, the turkey's rotten. And she just kind of goes, yeah.
Are you
And
serious?
yeah, and I'm like, well, I don't want it if it's rotten. And she kind of is just like, well, do you want something else? And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, no. And then I had to sit there and watch Brandon eat his fucking hamburger.
Wow.
Was the hamburger okay?
I guess the hamburger was okay, but Brandon, to be fair, was kind of a bottomless pit that you could just throw food into. I never understood either because he's thin, and I've seen this man eat like 3 times the food that I can handle.
He's like one of those. He's like that hot dog eating champion who's like the size of a stick.
Oh, the little Japanese dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm a bottomless pit too.
he's like Kirby. From
Except
Nintendo.
thin.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Is Kirby thin for his race? I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe
He never changes size, really.
Maybe it's just vertical Kirby. Yes, Seth is who I'm thinking of.
Oh, there you go.
Not like our Sephi.
No, not Sarah. Okay.
Yeah, different stuff.
I hope she's all right. On New Year's Eve, I was driving home from work about 1 a.m. and decided to get some Taco Bell because I hadn't eaten all day. You ever notice that whenever anybody's telling a story where they get Taco Bell, they feel the need to justify it?
I know. That's because everybody judges you.
Just say you got...
Taco Bell, but
Nope.
here's why.
Everybody likes Taco Bell, but nobody will admit to liking Taco Bell.
They
all-
mess up my order.
That is true. That depending on the location, of course, but that is a thing that happens.
My Taco Bell is just super slow.
Mine will mess up your order, but the managers there are really, really good about fixing it. So they get.
Well, that's good.
It's very busy there, so I can understand how that happens. Anyway, I pull into the drive-thru and wait a few minutes, thinking maybe they were closed. Then a guy comes on and says in a crackly, almost crying voice, "Hi, welcome to Taco Bell. Just so you know, I'm the only one here right now, so if you could have some patience, I would really appreciate it, and if not, I'm really sorry." The poor guy. I was talking to him as he was ringing me up and asked him why he was alone on New Year's Eve, and he said, well, one girl quit and just stormed out for them being understaffed, and the other just left because of a family emergency. I felt so bad for him. I still wish I had cash on me because I would have given him some.
Aw.
How wonderful for both of them, though. One for sticking with it, and the other for being compassionate,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their New Year's ended up okay.
You eat less and somehow gain more, Jesse. It's called being in your 30s, man. Welcome to it.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. I had a time when I was actually going to Pizza Hut with Pun, and it was New Year's Day, and there was only one person working that day.
Oh,
so
Lordy.
they had to keep the buffet closed. All the orders took like half an hour, and we were asking, where is everyone? And the one person that was there, she was saying, oh, well, everyone's hungover or drunk because it was New Year's Day.
It's a fair answer, a very honest answer. I mean, wow. I hope she got a raise or something for being the only one there.
Wow.
All right, this guy in a restaurant kitchen got in a fist fight with a younger guy, punched him in the face, backed up, started shaking his face and doing the Scooby-Doo voice. He was nuts. I broke it up and took the other guy out of the kitchen to separate them and came back 10 minutes later, and the crazy guy had perfectly cleaned his area, like freaking spotless, and clocked out early and never returned. Never seen or heard from him, never picked up his last paycheck. Weirdest thing I ever seen.
Signs that you're a psychopath?
Weirdest things I've ever heard.
Can you imagine somebody like punching you and then going back and going, like what the fuck? And also, you said something in the chat now that I kind of was thinking along the same lines, like, oh, we're understaffed, I'm gonna leave. Like, yeah, way to contribute, bitch. Wow. Shit.
You're just exacerbating the problem.
This is a very short one. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese as a teenager, and one guy found out he was being fired. He responded to this news by naturally slitting his wrists and wiping blood on all the walls in the kitchen. I was coming in as it was ending, but we had to call the police and everything. Bizarre scene.
Holy fuck!
Holy fucking shit.
Can you imagine, like, you're firing me? Well, I hope you like blood. And like, what the fuck?
And then you'd be like, as a matter of fact, oh my god!
Oh. Imagine Gordon Ramsay on that blood story. Bloody amazing.
Wow.
Ah,
the way you think.
Thank you.
For some reason, one of the restaurants that shows up for Uber Eats when I'm at work is Chuck E. Cheese. And every
Ew.
time I look, I'm like, why would anyone go out of their way to have Chuck E. Cheese
Delivered.
delivered for lunch?
Don't go there for the pizza.
Did they deliver you a really janky Pac-Man machine as well?
If only.
No, but they have an option to get like a pack of party favors. Or
Maybe they give you like a
something
a Ziploc bag full of a few balls from the ball pit. Like, here, have a blast.
And just an indescribable film on everything.
Well, that's Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay, just about a month ago now, two of the kitchen guys at the restaurant that I bartend at got into an incredibly heated argument over what they like to do with their girlfriends intimately. Okay, wait, what?
This has already started off at 11.
I like to have the sexual relations.
I also like to have the sexual relations. Well, fuck you! And they, like,
My sexual relations are superior to yours.
maybe they had the same girlfriend. Let's find out what happened. Apparently, one was much more adventurous than the other. Every time I went back to grab food, they were both getting angrier and angrier. It got to the point of them screaming at each other and pans being thrown before finally they seemed to calm down. About 20 minutes later, I go to check on food, and only the dishwasher was in the kitchen, and no food was even being cooked, though a stream of orders was still coming out of the printer. Apparently,
They were proving their sexual relations to each other.
like, I'll show you just how adventurous I am. Apparently, the argument started back up, and to solve it once and for all, ladies, they went to the parking lot and beat the living snot out of each other. That's not how you do sex.
They did it backwards.
Wow.
Then they came back in, bruised and quite bloodied, and tried going back to cooking food like nothing happened. Barrel says he feels like cocaine was involved in this.
They would
Oh,
have come to the same conclusion if they just jerked each other off.
I know, right? They should have just.
less blood involved, I would hope. Yeah, they should have just done that then. I mean, 5 minutes later, the owner stormed in with two guys that weren't working to cover the rest of the ship and fired both of them as they tried to defend their arguments to the owner while the entire staff tried to stifle our laughter.
Wow.
Well, at least they had a good time.
But apparently one had
Gonna have
a bad time. Apparently one of them had a better time than the other, and that's how it started.
I really think they should have just engaged in like a wank off or something.
Like,
prove
seriously.
who's better.
Seriously, just get the tension out. There's obviously a lot of sexual tension there.
Arcing ropes of jism, you know?
Just be like,
Okay.
baby, I promise to film us.
Can I just say that arcing ropes of jism is totally a Twitch clip URL?
Ropes of
What?
just.
Yeah. Okay, this is very sadly the last one on this list. The new hire in her first week rubbed our coworkers the wrong way by acting as though she's the ladies, by acting as though she's the hottest thing to hit our restaurant since food itself. While she was told her schedule for the next day, she argued with the manager about her availability. Threats of litigation start coming out of nowhere. She approached two police officers who were trying to enjoy their meal, completely in tears, breaking down and begging them to arrest her manager for firing her unjustly. They helped take her out of the building.
Arrest this man for being a meanie fofini.
Meanie Bobini.
I wanna believe that's exactly what she said. That's my headcanon now.
I will support this headcanon. I will.
This list was wonderful and completely made up for the absolute terrible one for it.
Yeah.
They weren't numbered, so we'll give it a letter grade from A+ to F. I'm going to give it an A-. What say you, noun?
A.
A. Jesse?
I give it an A.
A. Kia?
A.
A minus. Okay. I mean, yeah, that was pretty great. I wish we had time for some more because we didn't get to a whole lot, but we had a good time.
We got the content.
That's what mattered. No, we had a good time, and that's what matters. And I apologize to the people who submitted lists during this. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think, let's see. I can get to that one. Let's see. Maybe I can get to these because you know what? They're not that long.
This is too fun.
Okay,
Stop now.
Bonus.
Riddles lists I'm going to save for next time because they're a bit longer and more involved. But Chris and who was the other one? Chris and Moogle sent me some lists that we can get done very quickly. So, okay, so who sent me this one? Shit, fuck, ass, cock.
Next time, riddle me lists.
Okay, Moogle sent me a list that are the top 10. Oh, it's from the top 10s. That's not going to be top 10 then, is it? How many are on here? All right, we'll just do 10. Top 10 Punch-Out characters that are the biggest stereotypes.
All of them?
The answer to this is just yes.
They created the stereotypes.
I mean, I used to call this game Little Mac's bout against adorable racism.
Wow.
Because that's what it
Good
is.
title.
Okay, so number 10 is Heike Kagero. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one with the long hair?
Yeah, that's the Japanese, like, I guess, drag queen? I don't know what he's supposed to be.
I'm not so familiar with these characters, so I would need to have, like, a
I've
visual.
never even played the game.
It's just imagine this Japanese guy with long, flowing silver hair and really garish makeup.
So Sephiroth, but in drag.
I hated when he flipped his hair. Fuck, it got me every time.
Because that would hit you, and it would really make things difficult, yeah. Number 9 is Piston Honda. I mean, the guy's fucking name is Piston Honda.
He piston what now?
No, piston, as in like the part of a car, the pistons. And then his last name is Honda, and he's a Japanese dude. And he just...
I was trying to make a joke.
Oh, okay. And then he just screams random Japanese crap at you that doesn't make anything. And yes, they did... Barrel's correct. They did change his name to Piston Hondo because of copyright or something.
Honda cars, right?
Yeah. Number 8 is Aaron Ryan, who was Nintendo's very poor attempt at an Irish stereotype.
You don't look Irish.
You know what's weird is that Aaron Ryan, in his first appearance, he was like vaguely Irish, but when they brought him back for the Wii version, they made him like insane. So he would just like jump around the ring and say weird crap like, "You've got cheese burgers in your gloves."
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Number 7 is Great Tiger. That was the Indian dude who like teleported around and shit.
You had to watch his jewel and
the gem on his turban would glow.
He kind of go around in a circle several times.
Yeah, his tiger punch. Number 6 is Super Macho Man, which is like the California celebrity bodybuilder guy, you know.
Punch bogus.
He's basically
the natural blonde.
It's Simon Belmont from the Captain N show.
Oh my god, I cannot see it! Oh no!
Minus the parka.
Number 5 is Dragon Chan. Like, I don't even understand the point of Dragon Chan. Like, they put like basically a karate guy in Super Punch Out, and he would like jump around and kick you and shit. And I'm like, this is fun, but it is definitely not boxing anymore.
Yeah, we got into some kickboxing here.
Yeah. Number 4 is Soda Popinski. And if you don't know why he's a stereotype, his original name in the arcade version was Vodka Drunkinski.
Oh.
Oh, that one.
Vodka Drunkinski.
He was like the first super duper challenge, I think, of the game.
Yeah.
Number 3 for Jesse, the Canadian here. The Canadian stereotype, Bear Hugger.
I like raw fish.
The guy would chug maple syrup right before the battle. Come here, you.
He's from Salmon Arm, which is a real place.
I'm sure it is.
Oh.
Oh God. Number 2 is Glass Joe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when you
Because glass
knock,
jaw.
but also he was the French stereotype. When you knocked him out on the Wii version, croissants would fly everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus! I have missed out on something amazing here.
Oh, the Wii version's hilarious. And number 1 is Narcissus Prince, which is like your aristocratic British guy, you know. And if you
Nope.
like, the goal is to mess up his hair. That sends him into a rage.
No pizza pasta? I mean, the name alone is
I don't think
much.
I don't think very many
hungry.
I don't think very many people remember Pizza Pasta because he was only ever in the arcade one.
Yeah, but I mean, damn, come on.
What about King Hippo?
Like, racist for Hippo Island?
Who knows what King Hippo was even supposed to be?
I think it was just a stereotype for overweight people.
Or
Lol.
maybe he was Samoan? Who even knows?
I know.
But,
You wouldn't not look at his nipples on the cartoon.
yeah, I mean, everybody in chat is just spitting out names of characters, but like they're all stereotypes, and that's sort of the charm of Punch-Out. Out of 10, these are not particularly the 10 that I would pick, but I'll give it a 5. What do you say, Kyle?
6.
Down.
5.
Jesse.
7.
7. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Going hard there. All right, and submitted by, was it Chris? I think Chris submitted this one.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was going by NES version for that.
Oh, okay. Top 10 games that were amazing but haven't aged well.
Star Fox?
Okay.
I put that on there
Yeah,
immediately.
that's also, yeah, that's real. Number 10 is Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior for the NES. I mean, I don't know. I mean, has it aged well?
No,
I
because the
can't-
grind is a little too much.
That is a difficult one to gauge.
If you talk specifically about the NES version and not any of the remakes, it is very grindy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Game Boy
It
Color
was-
might
it
be a
was a
little
very
bit more
JRPG.
forgiving.
Oh yeah, the Game Boy Color or mobile versions. Yeah, definitely. Oh, this is yours, Moogle? Oh, okay. Number 9 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Huh.
I didn't like it when it came out, so...
Oh, I was all about that, man. When it came out, there was no other game.
Okay.
What about American Wasteland? That's the best Tony Hawk game.
Yeah, but they're talking about games that haven't aged well.
True.
Number 8 is the GameCube version of Resident Evil. I don't know. They keep re-releasing it just with another HD coat of paint, you know. So I don't know.
I know. I can't even
think- I think the GameCube one might be specific because everything kind of looked plasticky.
Yeah, but I get what they're saying though. That like at the time, like everybody was kind of blown away by Resident Evil remake on GameCube, and now you look at it and you're like, yeah, it looks like a GameCube game. Number 7, Star Fox. So you called that one.
Hey.
I mean, I remember like Star Fox was kind of amazing for the time, but now you play it and you're like, wow, this is running at 5 frames a week.
Yeah, the slowdown is...
Number 2 is Street Fighter 2. I don't know. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter 2 was the shit back in the day, but like I'm so used to modern fighting games that if I try to play Street Fighter 2, I'm like, oh, I can't do X.
I don't know. I could still play Street Fighter 2 and have a great time.
Did you say that was number 2 on the list?
That would have been good, right?
You totally did, though.
Oh, I did say that it was number 2?
Yeah.
Derp, derp, da derp, da da tiddly derp, dum.
You were thinking too far ahead.
That's right. Rob Schneider. Yeah. Number 5 is GoldenEye. I think GoldenEye fits this list really well.
It's still fun, but yeah, it has not aged well.
Well, how fun is it really to play multiplayer with 3 other people and you get that tiny little corner of the screen and your friends are yelling at, don't you look at my corner of the screen? Nah.
That's called screen cheating.
Number 4, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. I mean, yeah, they're jank as fuck.
Just play the remakes.
They're so so glitchy and just yeah. They had not even tested the final build of the game.
I think no.
Like 0 testing was done on the final build because somebody there had to jam one more Pokemon into it before releasing it. Didn't tell anybody. Number 3 is Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raider. I mean, yeah, I don't even think it was that good to begin with, to be honest.
Just everything's pointy. Everything.
Everything. I mean, the issue with interrupting green name. What? Noun? Are you okay over there?
What?
Are you okay, Noun?
Sorry.
What? Huh?
The chat was so red. I had.
Oh, I didn't get what you. All right, that went over my head.
Jeez, gosh, you guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, Riddle's yellow and Terry's pink.
I see a lot of pink.
And then I'm purple.
Purple.
Yeah, on my screen, Riddle is actually orange.
Oh well, I'm looking at it in Streamlabs, so it is a little. Okay.
Well, there's also something.
I gotta agree that Tomb Raider. I don't even know if I agree because I don't think Tomb Raider was even that great. To be honest.
Controls did not age well, neither.
I never liked the tank controls. All right, number 2 is the original Super Smash Bros. I mean,
Super Smash Brothers.
yeah. I mean, like, hey, here's your 12 characters, and you got to unlock 4 of them.
Yeah, it was an experimental thing, and then they perfected it later on.
I was really like into the idea of Smash Brothers, and I didn't actually get the game. I went to go buy it, and then they were like sold out, and then like my cousin had it, and she let me borrow it, and I was just like did everything there was to do in the weekend that I had it, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done. Melee came out, and that was really good, and then Brawl came out, and that was even better. So yeah,
they just kept improving, man.
Number 1 is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I don't agree with that.
Wait,
probably just because it's too hard.
It was difficult.
Of course, it was difficult. All the Ghosts and Goblins games are difficult, but I don't know, man. It was.
I think the graphics still hold
first
up,
of all,
the
yeah,
controls feel fine.
The graphics do hold up. The
Yeah.
controls hold, and I think the music, especially in that version, was really good.
Yeah, I don't think it belongs in the list.
So I'm gonna say 9 out of 10. What do you guys say? Just shout out numbers. We don't need to go in order.
7,
3.
8.
Damn, Kyle coming out with the harshness there. Damn, bitch. Okay, yeah, I do have one more list. It's a quick one from Chris Collett, and it is the 10 best Castlevania games ever made.
Oh man,
Castlevania 2, 10 times.
Definitely.
I mean, that one.
Symphony of the Night, the only one that I know anything about.
Oh, that's really the only one you know anything about? Damn.
I mean, I saw one of them on AVGN, but I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Let's go on a trip.
Well, you've seen me stream Bloodstained, so you know about Bloodstained. That's very much inspired by Castlevania.
It's so different from Castlevania, though.
I don't think it really is, to be honest.
I disagree. Your opinion is incorrect.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, number 10 is the original Castlevania on the NES. I mean, that's where it started, right? I mean, it's a great game. I don't know if I would.
The controls can be a little stiff, but it was an early game. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it started all. I can see why they would put it on the list at number 10. I personally wouldn't, but I can understand why they would. Number 9, Castlevania Bloodlines on Sega Genesis. It's a good one.
Genesis got a good one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Genesis
What did 10 don't?
Number 8 is Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse on the NES, which is the first game that I can remember that I bought with my own money.
Oh, that's a good one for your first one.
I know, right? I had like $60 saved up in like 1s and 5s, and my mom took me to Toys R Us, and I just handed over this like giant sheaf of money. And got
you turn it on, you see the film reel starting to go.
Oh my,
yes.
yeah, that was
like when I bought the Sega Genesis. I had this like all this just little 1s and 5s saved up.
Well, actually, Chris, I plan on doing streams of Symphony of Night sometime in the near future. Actually, probably after Bloodstained. So.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
Number 8. Oh, that was number 8. Number 7 is Castlevania Curse of Darkness, which was on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. This one was good. Not one that I would put on the list, though.
I've never played it.
It's good, but if you're going to go for
It's a
one of
total
the...
suck, Kyle.
One of,
What?
that was Jesse.
My bad.
I am Kyle.
Yeah.
Though we could make the same joke at me because I've literally never played any.
We are
games.
all Kyle today. No,
Kyle.
Cursor,
Excuse
if I was to put one of the 3D exploration based ones on the list, I would prefer Lament of Innocence, which is, by the way, guys, what I used as my intro music for today's stream was the Lament of Innocence soundtrack. So there you go.
Hey.
Number 6 is Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I mean, this is the weird one. This is the reboot. I absolutely loved it. I know it's polarizing. There are everybody in the chat saying, I am Kyle.
He's Kyle. He's Kyle. He's Kyle. Are there any other Kyles I should know about?
Lords of Shadow was fun, though.
Great
It's fun.
game.
We are all Spartacus.
Yep, there you go.
And you got Patrick Stewart.
I today
Oh,
am Kyle. I'm
that's a
Kyle
selling
as well.
point for me.
That's a selling point for anyone, I would think.
Chris didn't get the memo.
I'm Groot.
Uh,
Yeah, I am Groot.
I am.
No. He has to switch it to "We are Groot," and then he can just pretend. Oh.
We are Kyle. All right, number 5 is Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. I really, really enjoyed Order of Ecclesia. It's definitely a very difficult game. It's unforgiving as fuck. You're playing as this character that she has like no weapons. She just only can use magic. But it's so fucking cool.
I like how it kind of switched things up a little bit from like the giant mansion to like different sections,
And
but it still felt like Castlevania.
And heavily inspired by Simon's Quest.
So like right there, I'm sold.
I mean, and she even said, if you remember, when you finally get to Castlevania in what you think is near the end of the game, but is only halfway through, and she says, I am the morning sun come to vanquish the horrible night. And I'm just like, okay, you got me in the nostalgia.
Just gasm.
Guile's theme is in the background because it goes with everything. I'm Kyle. I'm Kyle. All right. Number 4 is Castlevania Rondo of Blood. That was the TurboGrafx one. It's good.
It looks pretty fun, but I don't know.
I'm not one of the guys, like, I don't suck this one's dick like everyone does. It's good, though.
Sucks other dicks, but not this one.
Yeah. Number 3 is Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. This is one of my favorites. This is the only Castlevania game. Well, this and Lords of Shadow are the only 2 Castlevania games where I would say that I legitimately really love the story in it. I'm not just in it for the gameplay. It has a great twist to it. It's fun as hell. Definitely my favorite Game Boy Advance game.
I did really like Aria of Sorrow, but I don't know why, but Dawn of Sorrow has still always been my favorite Castlevania.
I mean,
both are great.
I mean, they're both great, but I prefer Aria because like Dawn of Sorrow has like the typical goofy anime Castlevania story that I'm like, oh yeah, yes. stop talking, let me just play the game. Whereas with Aria of Sorrow, I was actually following the story and I actually cared about it.
Oh yeah, they're both great in their own way.
Yeah. Number 2 is Super Castlevania 4. I think like whoever made this list definitely prefers the very action-y Castlevanias, not so much the more exploration-based ones.
They put Aria at 3.
Then they put Super Castlevania at number 2.
Well, you know.
But I'm sure you can guess what number 1 is, guys.
I need it to be Castlevania 2, please.
No, it's not. It would be cool if it was, but it's Symphony of the Night.
Castlevania 64.
I actually like that game. I didn't think it was that bad. Like if you asked me what like the worst one was, it would probably be that last one on Game Boy, the Castlevania Legends.
The one that got nixed from canon.
Yeah, I mean it was a lazy cash grab. It wasn't even that bad of a game, but it was a lazy cash grab. But yeah, Symphony of the Night gave us the whole idea of the Metroidvania style, so yeah, I'm with it. I mean, I'll argue that, like Metroid did it first, obviously, or East 3 or whatever, but Symphony of the Night gave us the word Metroidvania, so.
I could say Symphony is a better game than Dawn of Sorrow. I just personally like Dawn of Sorrow more. That's all.
I would
Yeah.
I would argue that this Dawn of Sorrow and Aria of Sorrow are actually better than Symphony of the Night. It's just that Symphony of the Night had the privilege of being first. It was the one that was groundbreaking. They did improve from there, but it gets to be number one by virtue of being groundbreaking. So, yeah. I mean, and like Chris Collett says, like if it wasn't for Symphony of the Night, we wouldn't be playing Bloodstained right now.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, we went a little over here, but I wanted to get those submitted lists in there, and I thank you for everyone that came to the stream. I thank you for everyone that submitted lists, and I especially thank my co-hosts for being here and just helping me out with this. And this was really fun, and especially now, you really do fit in with us.
I'm glad to hear
This was a win, and I've had several wins today because. Like today I spent like several hours recording with Newfie Manga for our Pokemon Gold versus Silver thing that will be on my YouTube eventually. And I said to him at one point, I was like, wow, I really regret not asking you to do this for the first feature, that I even did it with that guy with the weird made-up name. Because it should have been...
What is that name?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
It doesn't even exist.
I don't get it, and
so
we'll keep it that way.
There was a guy that... I don't know if he even existed, but people tell me that there used to be a host on List Critics and that did collaborations with me on YouTube, and he had this weird name that's not a name.
No, I think it was just a myth.
Fake
Now
news.
I get it.
Fake news. So we're gonna raid Felgoth.
Oh boy.
We're gonna raid Felgoth because he's gonna
yes!
he's gonna do the dance.
Yes.
And
Terry, you better
wait,
stick around.
there are two great things about raiding Felgoth, and I'll tell you what they are. One is that, well, there's three great things, actually. One is he's just a great guy, and he deserves the raid. Oh, I have to spell his name right. It's Felgoth. The second is that he dances when you raid him. He does the raid dance. It's absolutely amazing. Let's go over to the raid screen. And the third great thing is that Brody's there, and it's going to piss him off.
Yep.
So.
Raid dance today, though. He's got Pun with him.
Oh no, I've done it when he had Pun with him, and they both did the raid dance.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they
really?
do it together.
Yeah, they did it together. It was amazing. And Pun is also a great guy. So we're rating both It's Felgum and the Pun Hit Wonder, and they're currently playing Super Mario Maker 2. That's worth watching.
Yeah.
That's just so fun to watch. So
Yeah.
we're going to head on over there
good
now. Let me go over the schedule for this next week very briefly. It did take me a while to get it up, but it is available on the Discord as well.
It did take me a while to get it up.
Clip that, somebody, with no context whatsoever, please. Join me tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Dragon Quest III on mobile. Monday at 1 p.m. we'll do Mortal Kombat X. Tuesday at 8 p.m. Bloodstained. Wednesday at 1 p.m. Dragon Quest XI. Thursday at 8 p.m. more Bloodstained. Friday at 2 p.m. more Dragon Quest XI. And Saturday at 8 p.m. the return of Pokemon Red 721. We'll see you guys over there. Let's do this.